Chapter 330. Hearing Gu Lingqing's voice, Wu Nian's heart skipped a beat. She was so absorbed in talking that she didn't notice that Gu Lingqing had walked over. She squinted at Gu Lingqing and nodded respectfully. I studied this subject in college because the children in the orphanage might have some psychological problems, but I'm not good at it. Gu Lingqing, do you think she is like Baiya? Lu Shuang laughed and poked through the thin layer of paper first. Gu Lingqing looked at Lu Shuang. She is indeed like Baiya. Her voice is similar, and her experience is similar. Baiya also studied psychology in the orphanage when she was a child. By the way, their personalities are also similar. But since you messed with one of my friends, don't mess with my other friend. Lu Shuang's eyes darkened. He warned her coldly. Cool girl. Wu Nian shouted. She stood up and smiled at Gu Lingqing apologetically. Then she said to Lu Shuang, I am now a tutor in Mr. Gu's family. Quit your job. I can still afford to support you, Lu Shuang said directly. I want to earn my own living, Wu Nian replied. Gu Lingqing looked at Wu Nian and said in a low voice, since your friend has scruples about me, then forget it. An unhappy beginning won't end well. Gu Lingqing said in a low voice, turned around, and left. Wu Nian's eyes dimmed. He sat back on the chair weakly. He looked like he was cutting the steak calmly, but in fact, his shoulders drooped like a rooster that had lost a fight. Lu Shuang understood Wu Nian's sadness. He said apologetically, did I use too much strength? Wu Nian shook her head. No, you did a very good job. You pointed it out directly, so people wouldn't think too much. Gu Lingqing must have his reasons for not hiring me. There is one thing. Lu Shuang wanted to say something but stopped. The orphanage called me today. Gu Lingqing sent his assistant to the orphanage to investigate you. Wu Nian smiled. It's reasonable. I am here to take care of his son. He often goes on business trips, so he must be worried about me. It's always good to be careful. Then what will you do now? You must want to take care of Yan, right? Lu Shuang felt sorry for Wu Nian. I can still apply to be a teacher in Yan school. Perhaps this is the arrangement of the heavens. No matter how valiant you are, you can't change your fate. What's in your life is bound to happen, and what's in your life is always forced, Wu Nian said optimistically. Her past experience really told her not to force things. Otherwise, in the end, she would just suffer the consequences of her own actions. She raised her glass and clinked it with Lu Shuang's. I'll only drink this glass. Lu Shuang snatched the wine glass from Baiya's hand and put it on the table. I'm not drinking anymore. What's so good about red wine? It's sour and astringent. Let's eat more and go karaoke. I'll call some handsome guys to accompany us. I can sing, but not handsome men. I have a feeling that Shiniyen's spy is here. Wu Nian was worried. Lu Shuang sneered and patted the table domineeringly. So what? Shiniyen has countless women. He already has a wife. He only cares about fire prevention for the officials, but he doesn't allow the common people to light lamps. Screw his stupid grandfather. That's true. Instead of spending your energy on others and living a life full of self-pity, why not spend your energy on yourself? Live however you want. Even if you're in a cage, you have to live beautifully, Wu Nian said. She picked up the glass of red wine on the table and drank it in one gulp. She didn't eat much. She only ate a piece of steak and stopped eating. She chatted with Lu Shuang and talked about the interesting things about Xiao Bao with a gentle smile on her face. Lu Shuang finished all the food on the table and held his swollen stomach. Don't you want to eat more? This piece of steak is enough for me to eat for a day. My stomach isn't good, and it hurts if I eat too much, Wu Nian said softly. Lu Shuang sighed. There are too many hormones in the drug research this time. You're eating so little but you're still getting fatter. It's not easy for me to be alive. I don't care about my appearance and body size. But aren't you afraid that you'll become a little fat cat by eating so much? Wu Nian teased with a smile. I want to eat until I become an invincible fatty in the universe. That way, Shiniyen will definitely abandon me. But I'm worried that after he abandons me, he won't provide you with the drug anymore. It's so contradictory. Lu Shuang held his chin and stared at Wu Nian. I'm sorry, Lu Shuang, Wu Nian said apologetically. "Ha, it's okay. Look at my mouth. I don't know how to talk. I didn't mean it that way. Don't misunderstand." Lu Shuang scratched his head and said honestly. She had known Lu Shuang for so many years. She knew Lu Shuang's character very well. He was straightforward, loyal, and carefree. He said whatever was on his mind. He didn't have many thoughts, and he wouldn't be jealous or frame others. He was a magnanimous gentleman, a pure and cute person. But in the end, she was the one who caused Lu Shuang to provoke Shenyan. "Cool girl, don't worry about me. Go and live the life you want," Wu Nian said in a deep voice. "Hee, I'm sure my bestie will be in the life I want. Let's go and sing." Lu Shuang changed the topic cheerfully. Wu Nian nodded and they went out together. "Dad, isn't that Auntie Xiao Nian?" Gu Yan saw Wu Nian and asked Gu Lingqing. Gu Lingqing looked at Wu Nian's back as he left. "She's busy. Later, Dad will bring you to the amusement park. Didn't she see me?" Gu Yan asked disappointedly. Gu Lingqing squatted down in front of Gu Yan. "Xiao Yan, I don't think Ms. Wu is suitable to be our family's tutor. I'll interview some other tutors tomorrow. You and Xiao Xian will come too. We'll choose one that you like, okay?" Gu Yan's eyes turned red. He looked at him with his big, watery eyes. He pursed his lips and didn't say a word. "Xiao Yan, do you want to eat cake?" Gu Lingqing asked gently. Gu Yan nodded. Gu Lingqing patted Gu Yan's head, got up and walked towards the cake. Gu Yan turned around and ran out of the door. After he got out of the elevator, he finally saw Wu Nian. He shouted, "Auntie Xiao Nian, Xiao Nian." Wu Nian stopped when she heard Gu Yan's voice. She turned around and saw Gu Yan running towards her. Her heart felt as if it had been hit by a fawn, and it rippled again and again. "This child seems to like you very much. Is it because of the bond between mother and son?" Lu Shuang sighed. Wu Nian squatted down. Gu Yan ran to her and said with red eyes, "Dad said you won't be coming to my house to tutor tomorrow. Is that true?" "If I go to your house to tutor, I'll be your teacher. You have to call me Auntie Xiao Nian. If you don't go, we can be friends. You can just call me Xiao Nian." "Xiao Yan, am I right?" Wu Nian smiled lovingly. Chapter 331. She had been controlling her emotions, but because of his tears, they also became undulating. "It's not impossible that we won't meet. You see, we didn't have an appointment today, but we met. It means that Xiaoyan and I are fated. Since we are fated, God will definitely let us meet again, right?" Wu Nian persuaded. Xiaoyan sniffed, but his tears were still flowing. He seemed to have broken down, and with a cry, he said, "I don't like Dad. Dad took me away. My parents are very sad. Now Dad wants to drive Auntie Xiaoyan away. Dad wants to drive all the people Xiaoyan likes away from Xiaoyan. I hate Dad around Yen. If you don't like your dad, can you live with your Auntie Xiaoyan in the future? Your Auntie Xiaoyan lives in the Oasis Hotel, and there is an amusement park there." Lu Shuang said directly. "Cool girl." Wu Nian stopped him and said, "Don't talk nonsense. He is Gu Lingqing's child." "Gu Lingqing is a little too much." Lu Shuang said unhappily, "This child, at first glance, you can tell that he has been wronged a lot. Otherwise, why would he be so loyal to you when you treat him a little better? It's because he has been abused a lot. A little bit of warmth can make him die to chase after it." Lu Shuang's words hit the bottom of Wu Nian's heart. She had been abused in the past. Her heart was like the cold of December, and she was about to freeze to death. At this time, as long as there was a little sunshine, she would chase after it even if her body was smashed to pieces. At that time, Gu Lingqing was her sunshine. She didn't want her child to follow her old path, grow up in a family without love, and taste the warmth of a lover. "I'll talk to your dad again," Wu Nian said and stood up. A soft, warm little hand took the initiative to put into her palm. Gu Yan's little actions simply melted her heart. She held Gu Yan's hand and walked back to the dining room. As soon as they got out of the elevator, Gu Lingqing found that Xiao Yan was missing. She was looking for him anxiously. Seeing Wu Nian coming with Xiao Yan, her eyes became cold. "You took the child away without the consent of the adults. If the circumstances are serious, I can sue you for abduction, Gu Lingqing said unhappily and walked towards them. Wu Nian was instantly annoyed. Didn't Mr. Gu know when I left? Don't you know if I kidnapped a child? Dad, I went to find Aunt Xiaoyan myself, Gu Yan explained. Xiaoyan, you go in first. Dad brought you a cake, Gu Lingqing ordered. Gu Yan looked at Wu Nian, lowered his head, and walked into the restaurant. Gu Lingqing turned around and prepared to go to the dining hall. Mr. Gu, I want to talk to you, Wu Nian shouted. Gu Lingqing didn't turn his head. I don't think it's necessary. I want to be your family's tutor. Please give me another chance. I will definitely do my best. Wu Nian threw away her pride and said. Gu Lingqing squinted at Wu Nian. I have 2 children, Xiaoyan and Xiao Xen. Tell me, which one do you like more? Wu Nian looked into his deep eyes. Her intuition told her that this question was a trap, but she couldn't see through his thoughts. I'm the tutor of your 2 children. What I need to do is to make different teaching plans according to the children's personalities. Xiaoyan is smart and well-behaved. To him, I just need to listen to him patiently, be his friend, and accompany him. To Xiao Xian, he is smart and rebellious, but he has his own ideas. I just need to follow his ideas and guide him correctly, Wu Nian explained. Gu Lingqing sneered and looked at Wu Nian coldly. I think the smart one is Mr. Wu. Answering the question and avoiding the important points is one of your strategies, right? As a teacher, I have emotions and desires. It's normal to have likes and dislikes. Isn't it fine as long as I treat my children equally? Can you be sure that the tutor you find in the future doesn't have any likes and dislikes? Wu Nian retorted. At the very least, her background will be relatively clean. Teacher Wu, ask yourself honestly, is your background clean? Gu Lingqing questioned. How is my background not clean? Wu Nian asked back with red eyes. With your current attitude towards me, we won't get along well in the future. Since we won't get along well in the future, why should we get along? I won't hire Mr. Wu to be my children's tutor. If Mr. Wu didn't hear me clearly, I can say it again. I won't hire Mr. Wu to be my children's tutor. Gu Lingqing said coldly. Wu Nian felt that she was about to explode from anger because of Gu Lingqing's gloomy personality. Give me a reason. Wu Nian held back the anger that was about to explode and said. First, as a boss, it's very likely that I fired someone because of my mood. In fact, I don't need a reason. Second, since your friend doesn't like me, if you come to my home to be a tutor, it will affect your relationship with your friend. Third, I feel that after an argument, it will leave a crack in your heart. Are you satisfied with these 3 reasons? Gu Lingqing looked at Wu Nian indifferently. She had made up her mind and wouldn't change it. Wu Nian could see Gu Lingqing's determination. She sneered and laughed. She laughed so hard that tears flowed from her eyes. She wiped her tears and said, One day, you will regret this decision today. Wu Nian turned around and entered the elevator. Gu Yan hid behind the door and eavesdropped. He leaned against the door frame and saw the elevator door close in front of him. He also cried sadly. Xiao Yan. Gu Lingqing saw Xiao Yan crying and called out worriedly. I want to go home. Xiao Yan cried until his nose was running. His eyes were red and swollen. He looked at Gu Lingqing and said with certainty, I want to go home. Gu Lingqing took a tissue and wiped Xiao Yan's tears and snot. He said lovingly, Okay, let's go home. He picked up Xiao Yan. Xiao Yan was still crying. He kept repeating the same sentence, I want to go home. Gu Lingqing said goodbye to his friends and brought Xiao Xian and Xiao Yan home. He put Xiao Yan in the back seat and Xiao Xen got in the front passenger seat. Gu Lingqing walked past the front of the car and got in the driver's seat. He looked at the rearview mirror and didn't see Xiao Yan. He was shocked and turned to look at the back seat. Xiao Yan was gone. He got out of the car nervously and looked around. There were cars everywhere, but there was no sign of Xiao Yan. He closed the door worriedly and shouted, Xiao Yan, Xiao Yan. There was no one around to respond to him. He was anxious and said to Xiao Xen in the car, Stay in the car and don't go anywhere. I'll find your brother and bring him back. Dad, you've never been so worried about me leaving. I'm younger than my brother. Gu Ruoxin said sadly. Chapter 332. Wu Nian looked at the caller ID of Gu Lingqing. She hesitated for a moment. She was already angry, so she hung up the phone. Lu Shuang looked at Wu Nian and changed the topic with a smile. Since you don't have to work now, let's go traveling. I've thought about it. Traveling is just to see the mountains, the water, and the culture. This time, I have a long time, so I want to go to a special place. I want to see deserts and icebergs. Then let's go to Chile. Chile is the country closest to the South Pole. There are deserts in the north of Chile, and it's also close to Argentina. We can go there. Wu Nian suggested. She also wanted to go out and relax, but she was depressed by Gu Lingqing. Argentina is famous for beef, gems, football, and tango, right? Lu Shuang asked excitedly. Yes, it's a country with rich ethnic customs. Wu Nian smiled. She was locked in the ward, thinking that she was going to die. She wanted to see things that she had never seen before. So, she often watched programs that introduced the countries around the country, so she knew a little. You know a lot. We'll leave tomorrow, and I'll bring Xiao Bao with us. We'll come back after a few months. I'll pay for all the expenses. Wow, a general can't obey military orders. I'll make Shiniyen so angry. Wow. The more Lu Shuang thought about it, the happier he was. Wu Nian saw that Lu Shuang was in a good mood, so she also smiled. But there was a part of her heart that she didn't show. She didn't want Lu Shuang to worry and not have a good time. Her phone rang again. It was Gu Lingqing again. She frowned and picked it up. Is little Yen with you? Gu Lingqing asked directly. Wu Nian paused for a moment. She understood Gu Lingqing's words. Suddenly, anger rushed to her head. She widened her eyes and said worriedly, Little Yen is missing again? Not with you? If she's with you and you don't tell me on purpose, I can sue you for kidnapping, Gu Lingqing said coldly. Who do you think you are, Gu Lingqing? Do you think I would dare to kidnap your child? Wu Nian angrily hung up the phone. What's wrong? Lu Shuang asked worriedly. Wu Nian looked around and said worriedly, Xiao Yan is missing. I'm worried that something might have happened to him. Let's not go karaoke for now. Let's look for him together. Okay. Let's split up and call each other when we find him, Lu Shuang said readily. Yes, Xiao Yan. Wu Nian shouted. He walked towards the direction of the restaurant again, but he didn't see Xiao Yan. She asked a passerby, Hello, have you seen a 7-year-old boy? He's about 1.35 meters tall and he's wearing a white short-sleeved shirt. The passerby shook his head. Wu Nian asked all the way to the restaurant, but Gu Yen was nowhere to be found. She then went to the fishing area to ask, afraid that Gu Yen would fall into the lake alone. Hello, have you seen a 7-year-old boy? He's about 1.35 meters tall and he's wearing a white short-sleeved shirt. He's very good-looking, Wu Nian asked the fisherman. The fisherman shook his head. Wu Nian's eyes dimmed. She raised her head and saw Gu Lingqing, who had also come to look for Gu Yen. She was angry. She rolled her eyes at Gu Lingqing and turned around, wanting to leave. She thought for a moment, took a deep breath, turned around again, and walked towards Gu Lingqing. This resort is very big. With our ability, I'm afraid it'll take some time to find him. The longer it takes, the more dangerous it will be for Xiao Yan. However, there are many security guards here. You should have Xiao Yan's photo in your phone. Please look for the security department here and ask them to help you find him. If they find Xiao Yan, give me a call, Wu Nian said coldly. You're very concerned about Xiao Yan. Gu Lingqing looked at Wu Nian suspiciously, as if she was scrutinizing something. Wu Nian sneered. Although I don't know the specific reason why you fired me, I really like Xiao Yan. I don't want anything to happen to him. I'll call you when I find him. Don't worry, I won't kidnap your child. Gu Lingqing looked at Wu Nian with a dark expression. He fired her because she was too similar to Baiya. Their voices were similar, their personalities were similar, and even their experiences were similar. Because there were so many similarities, he was on guard, deeply afraid that she was sent by someone with ulterior motives. Xiao Yan was his and Baiya's child. He didn't want anything to happen to him. To him, Wu Nian was like a ticking time bomb, a dangerous person. He couldn't take the risk. Then I'll have to trouble you, Gu Lingqing said coldly and turned around. Wu Nian looked at his handsome and heartless back. She was filled with anger. She grabbed some mud on the ground and threw it at Gu Lingqing, hitting him on the shoulder. Gu Lingqing frowned and looked at her. His gaze was even harsher. Wu Nian patted the mud on her hands and raised her chin. Since you're no longer my boss, I don't have to put up with your bad temper. She turned around. She didn't want to be angry with Gu Lingqing. It was more important to find Xiao Yan first. Gu Lingqing patted the dust on his shoulder and frowned even more. Her personality was exactly the same as Bai Ye's. Usually, she looked weak and gentle, but when she was angry, she was very tough, sharp, unyielding, and merciless. Because they were so similar, it made him more resistant. But she was right. He should go to the security department. The more anxious he was, the more chaotic it would be. At least the surveillance was useful. An hour later, Wu Nian, who was looking for Xiao Yan, received a call from Gu Lingqing. Xiao Yan is not in the park anymore. You don't have to look for him there. Wu Nian was even more worried. If he went out, it would be more dangerous. Did you check the surveillance outside? The road surveillance should be able to capture the direction he went, right? Before he left, he said he wanted to go home. I thought he meant to go home, but now that I think about it, he should be going back to his hometown in City H. I'll find him. Thank you for your hard work, Gu Lingqing said coldly and hung up the phone. Wu Nian's heart was still hanging in the air. He called Lu Shuang. Shuang girl, stop looking. Little Yan isn't here. Let's meet at the main entrance. After a while, Lu Shuang ran over, panting. That kid is not here. Where did he go? Did you find it? Wu Nian looked at Lu Shuang with red eyes, shook his head, and said sadly, Little Yan said he wanted to go home before he left. He said he wanted to go home to his hometown in H City. If Little Yan was happy with Gu Lingqing, he wouldn't want to go back to the ravine. He was with Gu Lingqing no happy. When Wu Nian said this, the mist in his eyes deepened. Don't you know Gu Lingqing's character? He's quiet, cold and strict, and he's used to being high and mighty. No child would like him. Lu Shuang comforted her. Cool girl, I'm sorry. Before I find little Yan, I'm not in the mood to travel. Wu Nian apologized. Chapter 333. Wu Nian really felt that Lu Shuang was a good person. Today, she was supposed to accompany Lu Shuang to relax, but in the end, Lu Shuang had to help her find Gu Nianji. Lu Shuang didn't complain at all when she couldn't go on a trip. She was really lucky to have such a friend. Wu Nian hugged Lu Shuang and sobbed. Thank you, Lu Shuang. Lu Shuang smiled. There's nothing to thank me for. If something happened to me today, you would have done the same for me. Maybe you would have done it better than me. I'll go with you after we find Xiao Yan, Wu Nian promised. Come on, I know you well. Now that you know that Xiao Yan is unhappy, you can't go on a trip happily and do what you want to do. If you need help, come to me, Lu Shuang said. What about you? It's not easy for you to be free. Wu Nian was worried about Lu Shuang. I have Xiao Bao to keep me company. I won't feel lonely, Lu Shuang said. Wu Nian felt sorry and guilty for Lu Shuang. When we find Xiao Yan, I'll go with you. Lu Shuang nodded. We'll talk about it after we find him. She sent Wu Nian back. Wu Nian got out of the car and watched Lu Shuang leave. Then, she turned around and went into the hotel lobby. Xiao Yan, I've been waiting for you for a long time. Gu Yan's voice was heard as he ran toward Wu Nian. When Wu Nian saw Gu Yan's tiny figure, her heart felt like it was being stabbed by something. It was sour and painful, but there was also an indescribable feeling of being touched. It was like a flood that came crashing down, causing her mind to go blank for a period of time. She squatted on the ground. Gu Yan threw himself into her arms and said happily, Nian Nian, I found you. Wu Nian's eyes instantly turned red, and hot liquid flowed out. He hugged Gu Yan tightly and said in a choked voice, Why did you come to find me? How did you find me? How can you be so bold? What if you get taken away by the bad guys? Gu Yan looked at Wu Nian happily. She wiped the tears on Wu Nian's face with her little hand and explained, I heard from your big sister that you were staying at the Oasis Hotel, so I wrote it down. When my father wanted to take me away, I took the opportunity to get off the car. I knew that there were surveillance cameras in the parking lot, so I deliberately walked like a cat. I was lucky. Not long after, a man left, and I quietly hid in his car. He went to Shuiyu International. I asked people along the way and found the Oasis Hotel. I didn't know which room you were staying in, so I could only wait in the lobby. Wu Nian's heart ached. She caressed Xiao Yan's pink little face and said, You can't run away from home like this in the future. It's very dangerous. What if you are really caught by the bad guys? Gu Yan pursed her lips and smiled. She said indifferently, I was not raised by my father. I am fine in my adoptive parents' house. At most, I will be sold once. Who knows, my adoptive parents might even love me more. Doesn't your father love you? Wu Nian asked with red eyes. Gu Yan shook her head and said, Xiao Exin is enough for my father. He never asks me for anything, and I don't want to ask him for anything. If I want something, I will fight for it myself. I don't want to depend on him. That way, even if I am abandoned, I won't feel sad or tormented. I want to adapt to the environment. If I can't adapt, then I will change. Wu Nian thought of her past self and hugged Gu Yan tightly again. At that time, she didn't want to depend on anyone. She was strong and independent. She thought the same as Xiao Yan. Without dependence, even if she left, she wouldn't feel sad or tormented in the future. Xiao Yan was too much like her past self. Her heart ached for him. She felt guilty and blamed herself. She didn't want her own child to be so lonely, helpless, and hopeless. Xiao Yan's father loves you. You don't know how worried he was after you disappeared. He kept looking for you. If your father doesn't want you, why would he be so worried about you? Wu Nian said. Gu Yan lowered her head and said softly, Maybe he thinks that if something happens to me, he won't be able to answer to my mother. Don't think that way. Do you know what your father said to me? He said don't let Xiao Yan be alone with Zhou Hailan. I can see that he cares about you, loves you, and protects you. Gu Yan looked at Wu Nian and said, Are you speaking up for my father? He fired you. He framed you, wronged you, and fired you indiscriminately. Wu Nian smiled. This child was standing up for her. The world of adults is complicated. It's so complicated that sometimes adults don't understand it. However, children shouldn't be involved in the world of adults. If you want to be independent, I'll support you with both hands, but you must do it at the right age. You're still too young. It's not time for you to be independent. Then can I choose to live with the person I want to live with? Gu Yan asked blankly. Wu Nian patted Gu Yan's head and said gently, Let me ask you, do you think Aunt Zhou is a good person? No, she's actually very bad. She deliberately encouraged Xiao Xian to do bad things, so Xiao Xian is not obedient and deliberately causes trouble. I even saw Xiao Xian steal things on purpose. It's all Aunt Zhou's teaching. She said that if she does this, Dad will let them be together, Xiao Yan said with certainty. Then do you think Xiao Xian wants to live with Aunt Zhou? Wu Nian asked patiently. Of course. All he did was hope that Dad would visit Aunt Zhou and let Dad know that Xiao Xian needs Aunt Zhou. Then, Dad would marry Aunt Zhou, Xiao Yan said. Wu Nian smiled. Her child was really a smart child. Although he was still young, he had a clever mind. So, the child still can't tell right from wrong. Xiao Xian still thinks that his mother is the best. In fact, his mother is leading him into the abyss. If Xiao Yan wants to live with the person he wants to live with, then wait until he's 18 years old. Then, your decision will be right. Even if it's not right, you can be responsible for yourself, Wu Nian said patiently. Gu Yan still lowered his head and asked softly with red eyes, Will you inform my father to pick me up? Wu Nian did not deny it. Gu Yan raised his head and looked at Wu Nian. There was a flash of confusion in his eyes. Can you lend me 500 yuan? I'll return it to you 10 times more in the future. Wu Nian guessed that he might take the money to his parents in H City. There were several results. 1. He lost his way and became a homeless person. 2. He got into an accident. 3. He returned to his hometown in H City and was picked up by Gu Lingqing. Go back to my room and rest for a while. You must be tired. I'll go out and get the money for you, Wu Nian said softly. Gu Yen entered her room obediently. Chapter 334. Wu Nian stayed at the door of the room and didn't go in. She knew that if she called Gu Lingqing, Yen would hate her in the future. However, if she didn't call Gu Lingqing, things would be more serious. 9 out of 10 things in the world wouldn't go your way. It was always like this. You couldn't have the best of both worlds. Gu Lingqing should be nearby. He would be here in 10 minutes. When he came out of the elevator, he was shrouded in murderous aura. His eyes were sharp and his face was livid. Wu Nian had a bad feeling. She went up and said, "Talk to Yen later." "It's my business whether I talk or not." "I'm afraid it has nothing to do with you," Gu Lingqing said coldly. His eyes were sharp, showing off his bad temper. "Yen doesn't want to stay by your side." "If you hit him, he won't want to stay by your side," Wu Nian said. "If he doesn't want to stay by my side, who should he stay by? Yours? Or you? Gu Lingqing said angrily. "I didn't say that he would stay by my side. If I really thought that, I wouldn't have called Mr. Gu to come here," Wu Nian explained. "If you don't think that, how would Yen know you are here? If you are too calculative, you will only hurt yourself and others," Gu Lingqing said with disdain. "I didn't tell Yen. He just heard the conversation between my friend and me." "Gu Lingqing, don't be like this. Yen is still young. He can't understand the painstaking efforts of adults. You will only make him sadder," Wu Nian said. "It's none of your business whether he's sad or not. Get out of the way," Gu Lingqing ordered. She didn't dare to let Gu Lingqing take Yen back now that Gu Lingqing was like this. She stood there and didn't move. Gu Yen heard the quarrel outside. He opened the door and saw Gu Lingqing. He was scared and quickly closed the door. Gu Lingqing jumped over, pushed the door open, and glanced at Gu Yen sharply. His action of closing the door undoubtedly angered Gu Lingqing even more. In order to find Gu Yen, Gu Lingqing used all his connections and mobilized a large number of people. When Gu Yen saw him, he actually closed the door. Gu Lingqing was furious and kicked the door open. Frightened, Gu Yen hid behind the bed. Wu Nian rushed in. "Gu Lingqing, let's talk this out." Gu Lingqing glared at Gu Yen fiercely and said coldly, "I'm disciplining my son. I don't need unimportant people to make irresponsible remarks. Come here." Gu Yen shook his head in fear. His eyes were red like a pitiful rabbit. Wu Nian recalled Gu Yan's words, "I don't want to depend on him. That way, even if he abandons me, I won't feel sad or tormented. I want to adapt to the environment. If I can't adapt, then I'll change." Gu Yen was only 7 years old. He was still a child, but he said such strong words. It made her heart ache. Wu Nian rushed in front of Gu Yen and hugged him. "Gu Lingqing, can you give me 5 minutes? One of you, 2 of you. Do it. Zhou Hailan did it. You do it too." Gu Lingqing said sternly. He took out his belt and looked at Gu Yen. "Are you coming over or not?" "I don't want to go over. I want to go home. I miss my parents. I don't want to go over." Gu Yen cried sadly. "Go home." Gu Lingqing was so angry that he lost his mind. He hit Gu Yen with his belt. Wu Nian took it head-on. His arm instantly turned red. Gu Lingqing did not calm down. He hit Gu Yen again and scolded, "I provide you with food, shelter, and education. Isn't this your home? All of you are willful, angry, and run away from home. All kinds of people can interfere with my life. I, Gu Lingqing, want to go home. I want you 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 to find your mother." Wu Nian hugged Gu Yen tightly, withstanding the blows one after another. His back had been beaten until it was lacerated. Fortunately, he hit her. Gu Yen was still a child. His skin was thin and tender. He could not take it. However, Gu Lingqing's last sentence had hurt Gu Yen, and it had also hurt her. He wanted Gu Yen to find his mother. Did he want to beat Gu Yen to death? If he had Baiye in his heart, he would not have said that. He knew that Baiye cared about this child very much. Tears flowed down uncontrollably. Gu Yen cried bitterly. He did not beg for mercy. Instead, he became more stubborn. Just beat me to death. I want to find my mother. I don't want to stay by your side anymore. You, Xiao Xin, and Aunt Zhou can live happily together. Gu Lingqing threw the belt on the ground. He went over and pulled Wu Nian away. He grabbed Gu Yan's small shoulders and pulled him aside. Do you still think you did nothing wrong? You left home for no reason. You know how worried I am. You're not worried about loving me. You're worried about beating me. I can't see your worry, Gu Yan said while crying. If I don't beat you, will I remember? I can find you once or twice. What if something happens? What's the point of finding you? Gu Lingqing said angrily. So what if something happens? If something happens, I'll go and accompany my mother. She's lonely in heaven. Xiao Yan will go and accompany her, Gu Yan said fearlessly. Gu Lingqing clenched his teeth. His eyes were misty and his redness was getting deeper. He said seriously, Who said your mother is in heaven? Your mother is not dead. I've been waiting for her to come back. If you leave and something happens, you won't be able to see your mother again. You're lying, Gu Yan said, choking. I didn't lie to you. Your mother is really alive. Gu Lingqing also choked. A tear flowed from his right eye. The tear carried too much pain, longing, and helplessness. If my mother is still alive, why isn't she back yet? Xiao Yan was confused. I don't know either. But I believe that your mother will come back one day because there are people she loves and can't forget here. There are also her responsibilities and wishes, Gu Lingqing said with certainty. Xiao Yan lowered his head and cried. Wu Nian turned his face away and cried too. The bitterness in his heart was about to form a flood and drown her. Let's go home with Dad, Gu Lingqing said with a hoarse voice. Gu Yan looked at Wu Nian. Wu Nian's shirt was torn by Gu Lingqing. There were still many bloodstains on it. Dad, send Xiao Nian to the hospital first. Xiao Nian is injured, Gu Yan said with concern. Wu Nian felt even more sad. Her tears were about to burst. Her child was truly an intelligent and kind-hearted person. At this time, he still cared about others. Chapter 335. Gu Yan cried so loudly that he was very sad. Wu Nian smiled faintly. She knew that Gu Yan should have understood her hint. I want to take you to the hospital, Gu Yan said stubbornly. Gu Lingqing saw the bloody marks on Wu Nian's back and arms. He did not control the strength of his hand in anger. He knew very well how hard he had hit her. If she had not blocked it, perhaps his belt would have hit Xiao Yan's body. Xiao Yan was so small that he could not bear it at all. I'll take you to the hospital first, Gu Lingqing said in a low voice. Wu Nian wanted to refuse, but she saw Gu Yan looking at her worriedly. If she did not go to the hospital, Xiao Yan would not be at ease, so she nodded. The belt on her body became numb after being hit for a long time. At first, she did not feel much pain. But after the numbness, that kind of pain, that kind of burning, the twitching. She did not sleep well last night. She was weak and fainted in the car. She vaguely heard Xiao Yan calling her Xiao Yan's name. She had a long dream. In the dream, she stood by the window with a big belly, listening to prenatal education music, stroking her belly and humming along. At the time, her relationship with Su Jiran was at an impasse. She felt lonely and helpless all the time. Her child was her pillar of support. She knew that the child would destroy her, and she also knew how difficult it was to raise the child. But she still wanted to give birth to the child without any hesitation. Unfortunately, her child was snatched away by someone else. She was very flustered. She even thought that if the child died, she would be too lonely. She wanted to die together with him. But what if the child did not die? Where was the child? She felt sad, desperate, and in pain. When she woke up crying, the pillow was more than half wet. Xiao Nian, you are in pain, aren't you? Gu Yan's voice was heard. Wu Nian came back to his senses and looked at Gu Yan, who was beside the bed. Tears were still hanging from the corners of his eyes. He smiled and asked softly, Little Yan, why are you here? Dad and I sent you to the hospital, but you were unconscious. When the nurse applied medicine on your back was covered in injuries. It's all my fault. 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 Gu Yen apologized. I don't blame you. I took the initiative. I know you have your own thoughts. There are a lot of things that you can't control and grasp. Remember Auntie's words. You must grow up safely, okay? Wu Nian asked. He didn't notice that his tears were still flowing. You must be in a lot of pain. Let me blow it for you, Gu Yen said considerately. He lifted the clothes on Wu Nian's back and blew it. The warm wind flowed through her wounds. Even if it couldn't alleviate the pain, it warmed her heart. Little Yen, Auntie really doesn't hurt anymore. It really doesn't hurt. It's late now. You should go home and rest, Wu Nian said softly. No, I told Dad that I will stay and take care of you tonight, Gu Yen said with certainty. Oh, by the way, Wu Nian looked around and didn't see Gu Lingqing. He asked, Where's your dad? Dad went to buy dinner. He will be back soon. Gu Yen had just finished speaking when Gu Lingqing appeared at the door with a plastic bag. He looked at Wu Nian with a strange expression. He put the plastic bag on the bedside table and said, I'll call the nurse over. I'll pay for all the expenses. I'll also compensate you for the psychological damage. How much do you want? You didn't hit me. I was the one who wanted to be hit. It has nothing to do with Mr. Gu. As for the nurse, there's no need for that. You can call my friend to come. Bring little Yen home and let little Yen have a good rest, Wu Nian said coldly. I bought mullet soup, shredded carrots, and tomato eggs. I won't bother you anymore, Gu Lingqing said in a professional manner and held Gu Yan's hand. Gu Yen hid his hand behind his back instinctively. I have to take care of Xiao Nian. Xiao Nian got hurt because of me. You know it's because of you. You shouldn't cause more trouble. Let's go. I'll bring you to see her tomorrow. It's fine if you don't want to come tomorrow, Gu Lingqing compromised. I want to come, Gu Yen said immediately. Then say goodbye to your Auntie Xiao Nian, Gu Lingqing said in a deep voice. Gu Yen looked at Wu Nian and said reluctantly, If you want me to stay with you, I can talk to my father again. Wu Nian was touched by Gu Yan's warmth. He smiled and said, You should go back and have a good rest. Come and take care of me tomorrow. You need enough sleep to have a good rest. Only after you have a good rest will you have the energy to take care of me, understand? Got it, Gu Yan said obediently and walked to Gu Lingqing. Gu Lingqing held Gu Yan's hand. This time, Gu Yan didn't refuse. They walked out of the ward. Gu Yan said, Dad, don't be against Xiao Nian. I want to marry Xiao Nian in the future. She risked her life to protect me. When I grow up, she will definitely love me very much. She's 20 years older than you. You two are not suitable for each other. Gu Lingqing refused coldly. Gu Yan sneered and walked away with his head down. He said, Don't worry. I'm just telling you. When I grow up, you can't stop me. Gu Lingqing didn't know what to say. Why did he feel that the well-behaved Gu Yan was even more rebellious than Gu Ruoxin? After Gu Lingqing and Gu Yan left, Wu Nian didn't call Lu Shuang to come. Lu Shuang had to take care of Xiaobao at night. It was already hard enough. She couldn't bear to let Lu Shuang worry about her. It was just a superficial wound. She could endure it. She ate the food that Gu Lingqing brought. She brushed her teeth and washed her face. She didn't take a shower. She just cleaned her body. She felt dizzy and lay on the bed. After a while, she fainted again. When she woke up, it was already dawn. The sun was a little dazzling, so she closed her eyes again. You're so badly injured. Are you not going to tell me? Lu Shuang's voice rang out. Wu Nian looked at Lu Shuang in surprise. He opened his eyes wide and asked, Why are you here? I called you in the morning. You were unconscious. The nurse answered the phone, so I came immediately. How did you get so badly injured? Lu Shuang asked in confusion. I fell. I'm fine. Wu Nian smiled. Lu Shuang pursed his lips and said unhappily, I just read the news today. A female university student committed suicide. She had good grades, was optimistic and helped others. She often had dinner with her friends. She got along well with others and had a happy family. No one knew why she committed suicide. Her mother cleaned up her room and saw her writing, I'm fine, on a piece of paper. She turned the paper over and saw the words save on the back of the paper. Wu Nian, Are you really okay? Chapter 336. Wu Nian knew that Lu Shuang was worried about her. That was why he got angry and spoke harshly to her. It's not what you think. Yen came to me yesterday. Then Gu Lingqing was angry. When she hit Yen, I was protecting her and she hit me by accident. Wu Nian explained softly. You can be injured all over if you are not careful. Sister, you can't see your back, and I can't either. You are lying. Lu Shuang was annoyed. Seeing that Lu Shuang was serious, Wu Nian sat up and held Lu Shuang's hand. Believe me, I am fine. Hurry up and look at yourself in the mirror. Your eyes are still red and swollen. You have had surgery on your eyes. You are hurting yourself by crying like this. Lu Shuang urged Wu Nian and helped her up. Wu Nian went to the washroom and looked at her red and swollen eyes. She had cried too much last night. No wonder Lu Shuang didn't believe that she was fine. Wu Nian sighed. She brushed her teeth, washed her face, combed her hair and came out. Lu Shuang waited outside and sighed. He couldn't bear to blame her anymore. What are you going to do next? Next, I don't want to think about anything else. I just want to accompany my good sister on a happy trip. Wu Nian said with a smile. When we come back from the trip, I will ask Xinyan to tell her that you can teach in Yan school. Lu Shuang continued Wu Nian's words. Wu Nian looked at Lu Shuang gratefully, but she also felt a little guilty. Thank you. Lu Shuang put his arm around Wu Nian's shoulder. You are welcome to trouble me. I will be angry if you don't trouble me. Don't be alone when you are sick. I only have you now and you only have me. Do you understand? Wu Nian nodded and said worriedly, Do you want to reconcile with your parents? After all, it's not your fault. You were forced to do this. Don't. If they knew that Xin Yen and I have this kind of relationship, they would probably die of anger. Besides, falling out with them is also to protect them, in case Xin Yen does something to my parents. Sai, let's not talk about this anymore. I'll go buy breakfast for you. Lu Shuang walked towards the door. Wu Nian held Lu Shuang's arm and said, I should be able to leave the hospital now. Let's go together. All right. Wu Nian went out to find a doctor to write his discharge summary. She dialed Gu Lingqing's number. Hello, Mr. Gu, this is Wu Nian. What is it? Gu Lingqing asked coldly. Hearing his tone, her heart turned cold. She said in a low voice, I'm going through the discharge procedures now. You don't have to come over. I'm already at the door. Tell Xiao Yan. Gu Lingqing hung up the phone after he finished speaking. Wu Nian glanced at his phone. Gu Lingqing's bad temper was really stubborn. He was the one who was wrong. Fine, he was still acting all high and mighty. Wu Nian took a deep breath to regulate her emotions. Go back and drink more water. The wound has already scabbed. If it's itchy, try not to scratch it. I've prescribed some vitamins for you to relieve the itching symptoms. Also, don't drink alcohol and eat spicy food. If you have any symptoms of fever, see a doctor immediately, the doctor said. Thank you, doctor. Wu Nian took the discharge summary and went back to the ward. When she passed the elevator, she saw Gu Lingqing and Xiao Yan coming out. Xiao Nian. Gu Yan shouted happily and ran towards Wu Nian. Gu Lingqing frowned slightly. She pulled Gu Yan back and reminded, Auntie. The corners of Wu Nian's mouth curled up as he answered, Yes. Gu Lingqing was speechless. He looked at Wu Nian. Wu Nian's eyelids drooped as he looked at him lazily with a hint of provocation. Gu Lingqing was displeased. Don't you have something to tell Xiao Yan? Wu Nian's eyes dimmed. No matter how he provoked her, she would not be able to defeat him. So what if she had vented her anger? She still had to face the predicament. She squatted down in front of Gu Yan and said gently, Xiao Yan, I'm fine now. I'll be discharged soon. Don't worry about me. You'll be starting school tomorrow. Study hard and improve every day. Xiao Yan looked at Gu Lingqing and asked pitifully, Are you really not going to hire Xiao Yan? She's not suitable. Dad will find you a better one, Gu Lingqing said coldly and resolutely. Wu Nian stood up expressionlessly. Heh. Lu Shuang sneered. I was wondering why he wasn't back yet. Turns out he met a beast. Gu Lingqing glanced at Lu Shuang sharply. Then you should have asked your friend to stay away from me. What I regret the most is that I didn't ask Bai Ye to stay away from you. If it wasn't for you, she might not have died, Lu Shuang said angrily. She's dead in your hearts, but not in mine, Gu Lingqing said coldly. You'll regret what you did today one day, Lu Shuang said meaningfully. Really? Gu Lingqing asked and held Gu Yan's hand. Xiao Yan, we should go. Gu Yan looked at Wu Nian. Wu Nian looked at him with a gentle smile. Gu Yan lowered his head and followed Gu Lingqing into the elevator. He turned around and looked at Wu Nian again. Wu Nian was still looking at him with a smile. She waited for the elevator door to close in front of her. If Gu Lingqing knows that you're Lu Shuang. Wu Nian interrupted Lu Shuang, looked at her and reminded, don't have such thoughts. Promise me he will never know. Even if he knows, you won't tell him. Lu Shuang sighed. Let's go. We'll have breakfast first and then send you back to the hotel. I'll go back and make some arrangements. We'll leave for Chile tomorrow. The hotel should have a buffet breakfast at this time. Let's eat in the hotel. Lu Shuang sent Wu Nian to the hotel. When they passed the lobby, the receptionist stopped Wu Nian. Miss Wu, you paid for your room on Saturday. Are you still going to check in today? Didn't I use my credit card? Can't I just stay for a few days and pay the bill for a few days? Wu Nian was puzzled. No, a man paid the bill for you until Saturday, the receptionist explained. Wu Nian understood. She and Gu Lingqing had agreed to go to work on Sunday. Gu Lingqing paid for her on Saturday. He was probably investigating her spending power. Got it? I'll stay for one more night. I'll check out tomorrow, Wu Nian said in a low voice. A man paid for you? Who is he? Lu Shuang asked nosily. Wu Nian glanced at Lu Shuang. Gu Lingqing. Then I don't look forward to it at all. Lu Shuang sighed again. They walked to the elevator. Ding. The elevator rang. Su Jiaran came out of the elevator with a beautiful woman in his arms. Chapter 337. Aren't you shocked? Her voice is exactly the same as Bai Ye's, Lu Shuang said with a smile and looked at Su Jiaran meaningfully. Su Jiaran looked at Lu Shuang and a lot of information flashed through his mind. Was it Shin Yen who took Bai Ye away? After Bai Ye disappeared, one of my researchers also disappeared. If Bai Ye has been taking the medicine, it's possible for her to survive. You have a rich imagination. Don't try to do anything to my friend, Lu Shuang warned and pulled Wu Nian into the elevator. Su Jiaran's chest was moving up and down violently. He looked at Wu Nian's expressionless face. Shock, and in the shock, there was also joy in his subconscious. Wu Nian raised his eyes and looked at Su Jiaran. His calm eyes were calm. The elevator door closed. Su Jiaran's ability is higher than Gu Lingqing's. I was scared to death just now. Touch it, my palms are sweaty, Lu Shuang said with lingering fear. It's useless to be afraid. The calmer you are, the less suspicious he will be. Besides, my bone marrow has been changed. As long as we don't admit it, he will never be able to prove that I am Bai Ye, Wu Nian said rationally. Stay away from him. In my opinion, Su Jiaran is scarier than Gu Lingqing. Gu Lingqing would rather hurt himself than Bai Ye, but Su Jiaran would rather hurt Bai Ye than let someone take her away. Besides, you have disappeared for 2 years. Gu Lingqing is still alone, and the women around Su Jiaran change every day. No, Gu Lingqing is not alone. He has 2 sons. One of them is not yours. It belongs to Zhou Hailan, and he is no longer your lover. Shuang complained. His and Zhou Hailan's child didn't go through that kind of method. The child directly adopted his DNA. You can't blame him, Wu Nian explained. Look, you're still speaking up for Gu Lingqing. Weren't you quite fierce to him in the hospital just now? Lu Shuang scolded. That's a different matter. What I said is the truth. All right, let's not talk about this anymore. Let's have breakfast first. Wu Nian changed the topic and looked at the red numbers above the elevator. You can check out after breakfast. Stay at my place today so that Su Jiaran won't bother you at night, Lu Shuang suggested. Wu Nian nodded. After breakfast, he returned to his room, packed his luggage and went to the front desk to check out. She went to Lu Shuang's place. Lu Shuang lived in a villa on the hillside. It was a 1-kilometer road from the iron fence to the entrance of the villa. There were 10 guards at the entrance who took turns to change shifts. Within a radius of 10 kilometers, there were real-time surveillance cameras to ensure the safety of a big shot. This place seemed to be heavily guarded. For Lu Shuang, it was just a bigger cage. "What do you want for lunch?" "I'll cook for you," Wu Nian said softly. "I really miss your red braised pork and Korean palace cuisine. Later, I'll go to the fridge and have a look. There should be a lot of fresh ingredients. They buy them every day," Lu Shuang said as she stopped at the iron fence. The soldiers would check carefully to make sure that there were no dangerous items or people in the car. Lu Shuang drove to the villa. From afar, Wu Nian heard Xiao Bao's babbling voice. Wu Nian's heart softened a little. In Lu Shuang's villa, there was a housekeeper, a chef, 2 people who took care of Xiao Bao, and 2 people who cleaned the house. The people who cleaned the house were also responsible for the garden. Lu Shuang glanced at Wu Nian and raised his eyebrows. Wu Nian understood and nodded. Shen Yan would not allow Lu Shuang to take Xiao Bao away. So many people here seemed to be taking care of her and Xiao Bao, but in fact, they were all Shen Yan's people. They had to monitor them. "Baby, do you miss your mother?" Lu Shuang reached out to Xiao Bao. Xiao Bao immediately reached out to Lu Shuang for a hug. Xiao Bao was now 15 months old. He had learned how to walk, although he still stumbled. He could say some 2-word words, such as mom, dad, auntie, grandma, uncle, and so on. He could also say verbs such as want, eat, and play. He was pink and tender, just like Lu Shuang. He looked exactly the same as Lu Shuang when he was young. The only difference was his gender. Wu Nian stood aside and watched Lu Shuang play with Xiao Bao. She smiled. She missed Xiao Yan's childhood. Seeing such a big Xiao Bao acting cute, her heart softened. Lu Shuang played with Xiao Bao for a while and looked at the chef. "Henny, you don't need to prepare my lunch today. My friend will do it for me. You just need to prepare others and Xiao Bao's." Henny nodded, indicating that he understood. He went into the kitchen. "Let's go and see what ingredients we have." Lu Shuang carried Xiao Bao to the fridge. Wu Nian opened the fridge. "There's pork, chicken feet, and breast. I'll make you braised pork, boiled chicken feet, and curry chicken cubes. How about that?" "I want to eat now." You know, although Henny is from country A, he has been in France for several years. The dishes he makes are all French. "I'm not used to it," Lu Shuang complained. "Do you want to talk to Shen Yan and get a chef from country A?" Wu Nian suggested. "Shen Yan likes country A. He's so picky. I don't know how his wife can stand him." Lu Shuang rolled his eyes. Eat. Xiao Bao pointed at the Yangla milk in the fridge with his small finger. He was drooling. "Hey, you little glutton. I don't know who you look like, but you're drooling when you talk," Lu Shuang said suspiciously, but he still patiently wiped the corner of Xiao Bao's mouth with a tissue. Wu Nian glanced at Lu Shuang. "Who does he look like?" Isn't he a copy of her?" She took out the Yangla milk from the fridge. "This needs to be heated up for the young master to drink." Aunt Yang, who was taking care of Xiao Bao, immediately took the Yangla milk from Wu Nian's hands. Lu Shuang shrugged. "Let her heat it up. I'll feed it. Xiao Bao likes his mother more. Am I right, Xiao Bao?" Xiao Bao's eyes were fixed on the Yangla milk. He licked his lips with his red tongue, looking exceptionally adorable. Lu Shuang tapped Xiao Bao's nose. Whoever has milk is your mother. What should I do with you?" "Xiao Bao is still young," Wu Nian said softly. Lu Shuang handed the child over to Aunt Zhang, who was taking care of Xiao Bao. He pulled Wu Nian into the room and closed the door. He said softly, "For safety reasons, I'll book another plane ticket tonight. It's not enough. We'll have to transfer to country X. Is that okay?" Wu Nian nodded. "Understood. In order to not arouse the suspicion of the security guards, I'll put my luggage in your luggage. When we arrive at country X, I'll buy more. Then we'll have fun for a month before coming back," Lu Shuang imagined. "Got it? I'll go to the kitchen to cook first. Don't do anything special today, in case others get suspicious," Wu Nian instructed. Her phone rang. It was Gu Lingqing again. Why would Gu Lingqing call her again? Chapter 338. Xiao Nian, it's me, Xiao Yan. Hee, I stole my dad's phone to call you. My dad is in a video conference. Gu Nianji lowered her voice. When Wu Nian heard Gu Yan's voice, her heart warmed as if she was basking in the sun in winter. She couldn't help but smile. What are you doing now? What are you having for lunch? Wu Nian asked with concern. I'm calling you now. I don't know what to have for lunch. Dad will probably take us to a restaurant. Xiao Nian, can I call you often? Gu Yan asked carefully. Of course. After Wu Nian said that, she thought for a moment. You'll be found out sooner or later if you use your dad's phone. It's not safe. I'll go to your house in the afternoon and put the new phone in the shoe cabinet outside your door. You can take it secretly. You can call me when you're not in class. I'll save my phone number inside and help you register a QQ account. That way, we can have a video conference. Yay, that's great. That's a great idea. I'll return the phone now, Gu Yan said happily. Wu Nian hung up. Lu Shuang had been sizing up Wu Nian. He raised his eyebrows. That kid called you? Yeah. I didn't expect it either. Wu Nian's eyes were smiling. I'm going out this afternoon. Lend me your car. You two really are like mother and son, said Lu Shuang with a sigh. That kid just got to know you and he already likes you so much. She looked at Xiaobao, her eyes shining with a dark light. Wu Nian held Lu Shuang's hand. You and Xiaobao won't be separated. Hee, I hope so. Lu Shuang took another deep breath. He walked to Xiaobao and rubbed Xiaobao's pink cheeks. If possible, I want to give him an ordinary family. Because the room was full of Xin Yan's people, Wu Nian didn't say anything. If he said too much, Lu Shuang would be too arrogant, which would be disadvantageous to her. Wu Nian went into the kitchen and prepared lunch. After eating, she drove Lu Shuang's car out. She first applied for a new SIM card at the mobile business hall and bought a new phone. She entered her number and saved it. She also registered a new QQ, called Unforgettable. After everything was done, he put his phone on silent mode, put it in his bag, and drove to Gu Lingqing's house. When she got out of the car, she was afraid that she would bump into Gu Lingqing in the elevator. She couldn't explain herself, so she deliberately took the stairs. At the staircase to the 9th floor, she saw 4 men standing at the top of the stairs, staring at Gu Lingqing's house furtively. She had a bad feeling in her heart. She purposely walked to the door opposite Gu Lingqing's and knocked on the door. A beautiful girl opposite opened the door and looked at Wu Nian suspiciously. What's the matter? I'm here to pick up a package, Wu Nian said. No one in my house needs a package? The girl asked in confusion. Wu Nian took a step back and tilted her head to look at the house number. Sorry, I got the wrong house. She knocked on Gu Lingqing's door again. It was Gu Yan who opened the door. He looked at Wu Nian in surprise. When he was about to say something, Wu Nian interrupted loudly. Little boy, I'm here to pick up a package. Are your parents home? Package? Gu Yan was puzzled and looked at Wu Nian blankly. Wu Nian entered the door and said to Gu Yan in a low voice, Close the door. Gu Yan obediently closed the door. Xiao Nian, why you back? Wu Nian stuffed the phone into Gu Yan's hand. Hide it. When Gu Lingqing came out of the study, Wu Nian immediately stood in front of Gu Yan, blocking Gu Lingqing's sight. Because of her guilty conscience, her face was as red as a peach. Why you here? Gu Lingqing asked suspiciously. When I went back yesterday, I found that the earring was missing. I guessed that it might have fallen in your house, so I came to look for it. By the way, when I came up the stairs, I saw 2 people sneaking around at the entrance of the corridor. They were staring at your door. You'd better find someone to check it out. Wu Nian said the main point of her knocking on the door. If she hadn't found that there was something strange outside, she would have just put the phone in the shoe cabinet outside and left. You climbed the stairs to the 9th floor? Gu Lingqing squinted his eyes and examined her. Wu Nian saw that he didn't trust her and was a little annoyed. She really didn't know what was good for her. I usually climb the stairs to lose weight. Now that your house is being monitored, this is the main point. It's up to you whether you want to investigate or not. Also, call me when you find the earring. I have something to do, so I'll leave first. Wu Nian turned around. Gu Lingqing sneered. You're young, but you have a big temper. Look for it yourself. If you can't find it, your earring won't be here. Wu Nian looked at him. I'm sorry, I'm already 28. I'm not young anymore. Gu Lingqing looked at her calmly. You also know that you're not young anymore, but you're still so hot-tempered. Didn't your past experiences and hardships teach you to be calm? Have you fed them to the dogs? Wu Nian pursed her lips tightly. She felt that there was a fire rising in her, and there were flames dancing in her eyes. He was scolding her in a roundabout way. He had a problem with her, and whatever she said was wrong. The older she got, the thinner her skin became, and the stronger her self-esteem became. She felt really pissed off, but there was a pent-up anger in her chest that she could not find an outlet for. She did not wear earrings in the first place, and looking for the earring was just an excuse. She did not want to stay there any longer, so she turned around and headed to the kitchen to look for it symbolically. From the corner of her eye, she caught sight of Gu Lingqing at the entrance of the kitchen. Since it's not here, it shouldn't have fallen here. Gu Lingqing reached out and pinched her earlobe. Wu Nian felt a sharp pain on her ear as she instinctively slapped his hand away and glared at him in displeasure. Gu Lingqing was still holding an earring in his hand as he handed it over to her. Xiao Nian said that there's a pair of earrings in my room. The kids must have seen it and taken it to play with. Wu Nian scoffed out. She did not wear earrings at all, and she did not think that given her current relationship with Gu Lingqing, he would go out of his way to buy a pair of earrings for her. As for the kids taking it to play with, that was even more impossible. Xiao Yan and Ruoxin were both boys, so why would they play with earrings? Since the earring had fallen in his room, that woman's relationship with him was probably close enough for them to enter the bedroom, or at least, have an even more intimate relationship. Wu Nian took off the earring and returned it to Gu Lingqing. I'm sorry, this pair of earrings isn't mine. Gu Lingqing furrowed his brows. If it wasn't hers, then whose was it? Zhou Hailan did not wear earrings because his skin was prone to allergies. Wu Nian walked past him coldly and stopped in her tracks. There were some things that had to be said. She glanced at Gu Lingqing. Mr. Gu is in the prime of his life, and he's been widowed for many years. It's normal for him to have some physiological needs. But, after all, you have 2 kids in such a small place, and it's not suitable for you to live at home. I suggest that you go to a hotel to relieve yourself. Chapter 339. What does it have to do with you? What does it have to do with you? Along the way, Wu Nian kept thinking about this sentence. She felt sour, angry, and speechless. She felt like she was being pressed by a mountain, and her whole body was trembling. Yes, what does it have to do with me? Even if she was Bai Ye, she and Gu Lingqing were divorced. It had nothing to do with her what kind of woman Gu Lingqing was looking for. Moreover, she was Wu Nian now. Yet she still felt sad. Her eyes were stinging, and she wanted to cry. It was so hard to suppress it. She parked the car by the side and leaned on the steering wheel to ease her agitated mood. Knock, knock, knock. There was a knock on the window. Wu Nian looked up and saw it was the traffic police. She opened the window. The traffic police saw that she didn't look well. Are you okay? Did you drink and drive? You can't park here. I didn't drink and drive. I just felt a little uncomfortable just now. I feel much better now. I'll drive away right away, Wu Nian said softly. The traffic police saw that her attitude was good, so they let her go. When Wu Nian returned to Lu Shuang's place, it was already 17 o'clock in the afternoon. Why did you take so long to send me a phone? I was going to call the police if you didn't come back, Lu Shuang said worriedly. There was a small accident, and I was delayed. I'm sorry, Wu Nian said worriedly. You will move out tomorrow. Don't you want to stay a few more nights? Xiao Bao and I will miss you very much, Lu Shuang said deliberately in front of the housekeeper and the housekeeper. Wu Nian smiled. She immediately understood Lu Shuang's purpose. I've troubled you enough today. By the way, let's take Xiao Bao to the amusement park tomorrow. I know a pretty good amusement park with good hygiene and environment. Wu Nian cooperated and said, That's right. But Lu Shuang held Xiao Bao's soft hand and teased Xiao Bao. Xiao Bao must be bored at home. Tomorrow, Auntie will take us out to play. Madam, it's too hot outside. Young master needs to take an afternoon nap. It's not appropriate for him to go out and play, Aunt Zhang advised. Lu Shuang looked at Wu Nian. Is the playground you mentioned indoor or outdoor? I won't go to the outdoor one. It's too hot. Xiao Bao is still Xiao Bao's baby. It's outdoors. It's not far from the hotel I'm staying at tomorrow. We can rest in my hotel after dinner, suggested Wu Nian. The food outside is not clean. Young master is not at the age where he can eat whatever he wants, Aunt Zhang objected again. Then just prepare more milk powder, rice paste, and baby's happy meal. Anyway, little Bao only eats these things at home. Lu Shuang's face turned sullen. Young master is still young. No matter how fun the playground is, it's not suitable for him. Lu Shuang was annoyed. Are you done yet? As Xiao Bao's mother, I want to take Xiao Bao out to play. It's not up to you, the nanny, to say anything. I'll take responsibility if anything happens. You're not the one who says you'll take responsibility. Sir has instructed that you can go out for a day or two, but Xiao Bao is not allowed to go out casually, Aunt Zhang said with her head lowered. Lu Shuang understood. She picked up her phone and called Shen Yan. Shen Yan hung up and didn't pick up. Lu Shuang called again. She didn't care if Shen Yan had something important to do or if she hated her. She couldn't wait for Shen Yan to hate her and ask her to get lost. She called Shen Yan continuously. On the fourth call, Shen Yan answered. What's wrong, baby? I'm at the reception now. It sounded like Shen Yan was in a good mood. She didn't lose her temper. Lu Shuang shuddered. Who's your baby? Don't be so disgusting. Shen Yan chuckled and asked knowingly, Who made you angry? Lu Shuang took a deep breath and tried to calm herself down. I'm going to take Xiao Bao and Wu Nian to the playground tomorrow. When I come back at night, let me and Xiao Bao out. Okay. Take Aunt Zhang and Aunt Yang with you. They'll help you take care of Xiao Bao. You'll have time to chat with your best friend, Shen Yan said straightforwardly. Lu Shuang pursed her lips tightly. She didn't want Aunt Zhang and Aunt Yang to go with her. They were there to keep an eye on her. She wanted to go abroad with Wu Nian for a month. But if she said directly that she didn't want to take them with her, Shen Yan would definitely be suspicious. Why don't you say anything? Are you not satisfied with my arrangement? Don't tell me you have other plans? When she said the last sentence, Shen Yan's tone became cold. Lu Shuang felt his blood run cold. Shen Yan had been a bad girl since she was a child. She didn't have any accidents when she grew up. Since you've arranged it like this, even if I don't like it, can you change it according to my preferences? Lu Shuang asked. Shen Yan refused directly. But you can ask me for a gift. I'll give it to you when I return home. Will you give me any gift I want? Lu Shuang asked again. Of course not. In fact, you can only take whatever gift I give you. Shen Yan's mood brightened. Lu Shuang also laughed. His laughter was cold, with a bit of mockery and perfunctory tone. She directly hung up the phone. I don't care what you give me. Wu Nian looked at Lu Shuang worriedly. He didn't agree? He agreed. Let Aunt Zhang and Aunt Yang go with us. Lu Shuang helplessly held Wu Nian's hand and ordered Henny, send dinner to my room. She took Wu Nian to the room, locked the door and complained, Shen Yan is a fascist. He deliberately asked Aunt Zhang and Aunt Yang to spy on us. What a jerk. Tomorrow, you take Xiao Bao to the toilet and then leave through the elevator. Wait for me at the airport. I wonder why you haven't come back yet. It's better to do it half an hour before boarding the plane. That way, it'll be easier for you to run away. Wu Nian suggested. That's the only way. What about the luggage? Are you going to check into the hotel first and then check out? Lu Shuang asked. Let's go to the amusement park first. You guys play first. I said I'm going to the hotel, but in fact, I'm going to check my luggage at the airport. I remember that the airport doesn't allow big things to be brought on the plane, and the check-in has to be done 1 hour in advance. Lu Shuang thought for a while. Forget it. We'll just carry a backpack for summer clothes. When we arrive in country X, We'll buy new clothes. It'll save us some trouble. That's good. Go to bed early tonight. Tomorrow we'll have the chance to escape and then go abroad to make trouble. Wu Nian lay on Lu Shuang's bed. Go abroad to make trouble. I like this sentence. Lu Shuang also lay next to Wu Nian with a smile and turned on the TV. The news was on. Chapter 340. What's wrong? Lu Shuang asked worriedly. Room 901, Block 82 of Wisteria Garden is where Gu Lingqing lives. Wu Nian murmured. Her heart was beating fast, and the person she met at the entrance of the corridor flashed through her mind. She felt restless, got up from the bed, and subconsciously dialed Gu Lingqing's number. She wanted to know if they were safe. The phone rang and she remembered Gu Lingqing's words, "What does it have to do with you?" She hung up the phone again. Not only would Gu Lingqing not tell her, but he would also scold her and even suspect her. Maybe she should call Xiao Yan? But if Xiao Yan was by Gu Lingqing's side, wouldn't she be exposed? The phone rang. She saw that it was Gu Lingqing calling back. Her back stiffened, and she swallowed her saliva. What's the matter? Gu Lingqing asked coldly. His voice was low and hoarse, as if he was suppressing his temper that was about to explode. Have you found the owner of the earring? Wu Nian found a topic and asked. The girl opposite me. She came to play last time and left it at my place. Gu Lingqing said in a low voice. Oh. Wu Nian answered, lowered her eyes, and thought of the beautiful girl opposite Gu Lingqing's house. She would come to his room to play. It seemed that they had a good relationship. Is there anything else? No more hanging up. Gu Lingqing said coldly and harshly. She heard the impatience in his tone. He was already impatient with her, so why was she afraid that he would suspect her? I saw the news on TV that your house was on fire. Is your family okay? First of all, the fire at my house has nothing to do with you. Secondly, don't you think that you care too much? With your identity, even if my house is on fire, the safety of my family has nothing to do with you. Gu Lingqing said coldly. Wu Nian held the phone tighter. She took a deep breath and then another deep breath. She knew that she would get such an answer when she called Gu Lingqing. Seeing that she informed him that he was being monitored, he shouldn't have such an attitude. Unfortunately, there was no such thing as should or shouldn't in this world. The only thing that mattered was whether others wanted to or not. I really don't see eye to eye with you. Wu Nian hung up the phone and threw it on the bed. Lu Shuang looks at Wu Nian. Are you mad at Gu Lingqing again? Gu Lingqing's personality is like that. Back then, when I was in the military, I always took a detour when I saw him from afar. His temper is unusually bad. I really don't understand how you could fall in love with someone like him. He's a little gentler. It doesn't match at all. Wu Nian lowered her eyes. The scene of him sacrificing himself to save her flashed across her mind, and the scene of him smiling at her. Her emotions gradually calmed down. He treats me well, Wu Nian said softly and sat next to Lu Shuang. He. Lu Shuang denied it with a smile. He placed his hand on Wu Nian's shoulder and said bluntly, that's because the Su Jiran you met was worse. So, as long as there's a man who's slightly better than Su Jiran, you'll feel good. Wu Nian's eyes became misty. She fell onto the bed and stared at the white ceiling. Was it because she and Gu Lingqing hadn't seen each other for too long? It had been so long that she had forgotten how much they loved each other in the past. Her heart was aching because of the memories, the reality, and the helplessness. It was so painful that she closed her eyes. Tears flowed out and wet her cheeks. Xiao Bai, are you crying? Are you still in love with Gu Lingqing? Lu Shuang asked, his heart aching. Wu Nian opened her eyes. Her eyes were red. She smiled. I'm crying because I'm reminded of the past. There's no love in my heart anymore. You know. Don't be so pessimistic. There's a cure for your illness. You had to take injections every month in the beginning. Now, you don't have to take injections for half a year. Science is improving. As for your physique, you'll slim down after you stop taking the injections. I think you're much thinner than you were 2 months ago. Lu Shuang encouraged. Wu Nian smiled. She didn't care about her physique or her appearance. She wanted to be healthy. But if she couldn't even be healthy, she would just go with the flow. She wouldn't force it. After experiencing life and death a few times, she might have seen through it. Her phone rang. She saw that it was Gu Lingqing and picked it up suspiciously. "What's wrong?" "I feel that there's still something unsaid," Gu Lingqing said in a low voice. "Say it." "You won't be able to hear anything good from Mr. Gu." Wu Nian was mentally prepared. "Today, a girl from the other side came over to play. I went to deal with the people who were watching me outside. The girl made wontons for the children, but I forgot about it and caused a fire. Fortunately, it's not serious. Thank you for telling me that there's someone watching me. But this matter ends here. In the future, there's no need to contact me again," Gu Lingqing said coldly. "Got it." Wu Nian hung up the phone in front of him and pulled Gu Lingqing's number into the blacklist. Lu Shuang looked at Wu Nian. "Are you sure you won't contact him again?" "I came back to take care of Xiao Yan. Not seeing Gu Lingqing might be a good thing," Wu Nian said calmly. Lu Shuang hugged Wu Nian's shoulders tightly, as though she was giving her a powerful comfort. "You will find someone better, someone more suitable for you. After suffering comes happiness. In the future, there will definitely be a man as gentle as water who will care for you and protect you." Wu Nian just smiled. She really couldn't love anymore, but Lu Shuang meant well. She didn't want Lu Shuang to worry. Henny sent their dinner to the room. After they finished eating, they coaxed the child for a while. When the child went to sleep, they went to sleep too. Wu Nian lay in bed for 2 hours, but she couldn't fall asleep. She didn't want to wake Lu Shuang up by tossing and turning, so she got up and went out. She sat at the door and looked up at the sky. There was no moon or stars in the sky. It was close to September, and there was still the warmth of summer. The chirping of the insects was especially loud in the quiet space. But there was also a sense of loneliness. Mosquitoes flew around her, but they didn't bite her. The corners of Wu Nian's mouth twitched. Her blood was full of viruses, but it was good for her too. Mosquitoes didn't dare to get close to her. She leaned against the doorsill and looked into the distance quietly. 7 in the morning. Gu Lingqing received the video taken by an Ing. She saw Wu Nian sitting quietly at the door. Most of the time, she was in a daze. Occasionally, she would smile as if she was thinking of something happy. But sometimes, she would cry as if she was thinking of something sad. Gu Lingqing's gaze was deep. She made a call and said in a low voice, "How long has she been sitting at the door?" "From 11 p.m. until 3:20 p.m. in Ling City. She only returned to her room after that." "There's something I'm very curious about," Ing reported. "What is it?" Gu Lingqing was puzzled. Chapter 341. Apart from that, is there anything special? Did she ever see any special people or do any special things? Gu Lingqing asked. He didn't think that there was anything special about not being bitten by mosquitoes. Because he had 2 children, he would stick mosquito repellent on them when he brought them out. It was quite effective. "Not yet. Do you need us to follow them?" And Ying's men asked. Gu Lingqing was silent for 3 seconds. He looked at Xiao Yan, who was brushing his teeth, and said in a deep voice, "Not for now. Thank you." There was a knock on the door. Gu Lingqing opened the door. Song Xiu stood at the door and smiled lovingly. "Is Xiao Yan awake?" Gu Lingqing nodded. "He's brushing his teeth now. Xiao Xian must be awake already. They have class at 8:30 and the teacher wants them to be there before 8:20. Leave the children to me. Don't worry. You should have come to me earlier. Nannies are not as considerate as family," Song Xiu said. "I'm busy these days. I have to go abroad to deal with some things. When I'm back, I'll find someone to take care of them and then move out." "Thank you for taking care of them these days," Gu Lingqing said indifferently. "Why are you moving out? Don't you trust me to take care of them?" Song Xiu was unhappy. "Baiyu will come back one day. I think the children will move out one day too. You'll be even more reluctant then," Gu Lingqing said straightforwardly. Song Xiu tightened his grip. "Lingqing, be realistic. Baiyu won't come back." A sharp light flashed in Gu Lingqing's eyes. he said with determination, certainty. She will come back. Song Shiu sighed. Gu Lingqing had been drinking and smoking so much that his stomach was bleeding. She didn't want to agitate him anymore. She said nothing and turned to leave. Wu Nian slept until 8 o'clock. She opened her eyes and saw Lu Shuang looking at her. "You're awake?" Lu Shuang greeted. "What time is the flight?" Wu Nian asked and sat up. 11:10 in the morning. "I've booked first-class seats for you and me. And the disposable dental tools are already in the washroom," Lu Shuang said with a smile. "Give me 5 minutes." Wu Nian went to the bathroom, brushed his teeth, washed his face, put on some honey lotion, and tied his hair into a ponytail. Lu Shuang crossed his arms and leaned against the door frame. He looked at Wu Nian and said enviously, "You're really a natural beauty. You don't even need to put on makeup and you're already stunning." "Are you talking about my body shape?" Wu Nian walked out of the bathroom. "No, don't belittle yourself. You have a small face. Just by looking at your face, I can tell that you weigh only about 50 pounds. Lu Shuang held Wu Nian's hand. "According to your description, isn't my body proportions uncoordinated?" Lu Shuang slapped his own mouth and apologized. "I didn't mean that. I just think you're pretty." "I wasn't born with it," Wu Nian said lightly. Lu Shuang looked at Wu Nian and said, "You used to be pretty too. Let's go, my dear Shuang. We don't have much time to waste." Wu Nian ended the topic. They went straight to the amusement park. It took 1.5 hours to get to the amusement park from Lu Shuang's place. Lu Shuang glanced at the time in the car. He frowned and looked at Wu Nian. Wu Nian nodded slightly. "Xiao Nian, which floor is the amusement park on?" "I'll take my son to the washroom first," Lu Shuang said. "The 5th floor, the furthest side." "Young master, leave the changing of diapers to me. I'm the one who does it," Auntie Zhang said with a smile. "All right, come with me," Lu Shuang said. The corners of her mouth curled up slightly as she scoffed. When they arrived at the parking lot, Lu Shuang brought Xiaobao down first. Auntie Zhang immediately followed them. Lu Shuang brought the child to the washroom and threw the diapers into the washroom. After that, she rummaged through the bag and asked, "You didn't bring the diapers?" Auntie Zhang was surprised. "I did." She also rummaged through the bag, but she couldn't find the diapers. "I'll call Auntie Yang and ask her to buy them," Auntie Zhang said. "Hurry up. Don't let Xiaobao catch a cold." Lu Shuang carried Xiaobao. Auntie Zhang called Auntie Yang, but she couldn't get through. She called 3 times but still couldn't get through. "Did you get through?" Lu Shuang urged impatiently. "Maybe they're still in the parking lot." "There's no signal," Auntie Zhang explained. "It's been 10 minutes. How could they not be out of the parking lot? Hurry up and buy the diapers." "There's a supermarket on the 1st floor," Lu Shuang ordered. Auntie Zhang glanced at Xiaobao and said worriedly, "Why don't we go together? It'll be faster if we buy the diapers." Xiaobao is so shameless. "There's no washroom on the 1st floor. There's only one on the 2nd floor. You know Xiaobao's identity. Hurry up and go. I should ask Xinyan to fire you," Lu Shuang said angrily on purpose. "All right, madam, wait for me here," Auntie Zhang said and went out quickly. Lu Shuang stretched her neck and saw Auntie Zhang go down to the 1st floor. She smiled slyly. She went down the stairs of the emergency passage and rushed to the road. She called a taxi and called Wu Nian. Then she hung up and said to the driver, "Please go to the east gate. I need to pick up my friend." The taxi drove to the east gate and Wu Nian came out. Lu Shuang waved his hand. Wu Nian got in the car immediately. "Sir, take me to the airport as fast as you can. I'll give you 100 as a tip." Lu Shuang patted the seat where the driver was sitting and said, "Okay." The driver started the car. Lu Shuang let out a sigh of relief. "Do you know how difficult it is to deal with Auntie Zhang? She won't leave Xiaobao. No wonder she's his henchman. Auntie Yang is fine. I told her that my phone was out of battery and asked her to lend it to me. She lent it to me immediately. I blacklisted Auntie Zhang. Hee, I guess they're going to die of anger. Ha." Lu Shuang laughed and leaned back on the seat. Wu Nian took out a diaper from his bag and handed it to Lu Shuang. "Hurry up and use it on Xiaobao. Otherwise, You'll be in deep sorrow soon. Oh, oh, oh. Lu Shuang used the diaper on Xiao Bao and said to Xiao Bao happily, Mommy, I'll take you to play outside. Xiao Bao seemed to understand. He pointed outside and said, Outside, outside, Mommy. Mommy outside put. Lu Shuang smiled and tickled Xiao Bao. Xiao Bao also giggled. They got on the plane at the last 10 minutes. Lu Shuang leaned back on the first-class seat comfortably. A tall man walked into the first-class cabin. He was wearing a black suit and a blue spiral tie. He had a well-defined face and brown hair. His blue eyes were like amber, pure and attractive. Xiao Nian, that man over there is so handsome. He's a foreigner. Can you guess which country he's from? Lu Shuang asked Wu Nian beside him. Chapter 342. Shen Yan looked at her coldly. Lu Shuang didn't know what to say. She was afraid that the air would suddenly become so quiet that it made her hair stand on end. This kind of cold violence was like a low pressure, making it hard for her to breathe. She looked at him and said, I'm just out for a few days. What are you doing? Playing for a few days or a few months? Lu Shuang, I know what you're thinking if you blink. Don't play tricks in front of me. Shen Yan said angrily. Lu Shuang slammed the coffee table and said, What's wrong with me playing for a few months? Can't I? Only high-ranking officials like you are allowed to do whatever you want, but I'm not allowed to light a lamp. Are you trying to light a lamp? You're rebelling. Shen Yan said sternly. So what if I'm rebelling? You want to kill me? Come and kill me. Lu Shuang was so angry that her eyes were burning. Shen Yan held her chin with too much force, causing the flesh on both sides of her face to bulge. Lu Shuang struggled to get rid of his hand. The more she turned her head, the more her face hurt. It was so painful that her face felt numb. She glared at Shen Yan angrily. Move again. Why aren't you moving? Shen Yan asked. Lu Shuang pursed her lips. Although she didn't move, her eyes were filled with silent protest. Shen Yan lowered his head and kissed her on the lips. Lu Shuang pushed him, but he didn't budge. She was so anxious that her nose was covered in sweat. Shen Yan kissed her for 3 minutes before letting her go. The two of them stared at each other. Can you be a little more obedient? You've already given birth to my child, but you only know how to run away. Shen Yan frowned and said. Speaking of the child, Lu Shuang felt even more wronged. Her eyes became misty. He raped her and made it look like he had taken protection. Otherwise, she would have taken the medicine. After she knew that the child was his, she did not want it, and he sent people to arrest her. It wasn't easy for her to be rescued, but he used Bai Ye's life to threaten her, so she could only stay by his side. God knew how unwilling she was. The person she hated the most was Shen Yan. She hated him when she was young, and hated him even more when she grew up. Seeing that she was about to cry, Shen Yan couldn't bear to let go of her hand. She frowned and said, If you had been a little more obedient, I wouldn't have hurt you. Now you deserve it. Lu Shuang clenched his fists and held back his tears stubbornly. He complained, I just want to go out and play. Why don't you let me? I want to go out and play. I'm alone at home every day. It's like I'm locked in a cage. If you're not crazy, I'm going crazy. I don't object if you want to go out and play, but what if you get kidnapped when you go out without any preparation? Once the arrangements are made, I will naturally bring you out, Shen Yan promised. Why do I get kidnapped when I go out? Why do I have to live in fear? I don't even have freedom. There are people watching me at home and outside. What's the difference between this and a kidnapping? The more Lu Shuang spoke, the sadder and more aggrieved she felt. You are my woman, and Xiao Bao is my son. They are not watching you, but protecting you. Really? I have to report everything I do. Is this protection? I don't have freedom of movement. Is this protection? If a person's freedom is restricted, then I might as well die. A cold light flashed across Shen Yan's eyes. She held Lu Shuang's shoulder and said, What are you talking about? Tell me properly. The evil aura around him was too scary. It was even scarier than death. Lu Shuang pursed her lips and clenched her fists so tightly that her nails dug into her palms. Could she really die? If she died, Xinyan would definitely not save Wu Nian. She was just too emotional and said too much. But the words that she said were like spilled water. It was hard to take back what was spilled. I want to go out and play. Lu Shuang lowered her head. In the end, she felt so wrong that she couldn't even express her true thoughts. She shed tears. Seeing her cry, Xinyan's hard heart softened. She wiped her tears with her thumb and said softly, "Why are you crying like a child? You are the mother of my child now. You are the president of a country. You said you were going to have a friendly interview with the M nation, but in the blink of an eye, you came to catch me." Lu Shuang wiped her tears handsomely. "So, you deliberately ran out when I was not here?" Xinyan narrowed her eyes and looked at her. She didn't deny it and asked, "If you were in the country, would you allow me to go abroad?" Xinyan curled his lips and answered with certainty, "Of course not." Lu Shuang didn't want to look at his annoying face anymore. She was afraid that if she looked at him again, her fists would be flying before her head. So she turned around and turned her back to Xinyan. Xinyan looked at the back of her head and said, "You really just want to go out and play, not run away?" "Firstly, if I were to run away, I definitely wouldn't use my passport. I would make it so that you wouldn't be able to find me and know where I went. Secondly, Xiaobai still depends on you to cure him. I am not a person who goes back on his word," Lu Shuang said without turning her head. Xinyan's heart tightened and his dark eyes became darker as if there was a scar hidden in them. If he couldn't find Lu Shuang, he would probably go crazy. "Don't say that I didn't give you a chance. Turn around and look at me," Xinyan said with a deep voice. Lu Shuang turned around and looked at him. "I will give you a task. If you do it, I will allow you to go out and play with your best friend for a month. I will reimburse you for the expenses," Xinyan said. Lu Shuang's hope was ignited. "There will be an auction the day after tomorrow. I want you to buy an oil painting called Girl in Dreams with a price between 1 million to 8 million. I will give you 10 million and you can take the remaining 2 million if you see anything that you like." Lu Shuang didn't think that Xinyan was so easy to talk to. "How much is the starting bid for that oil painting? If you can't get it, you are not allowed to have other requests. It should be starting at 500,000. Shen Yan curled her lips and became coquettish, full of sexiness. "You are mine. What request do you think I will have?" Lu Shuang felt that Xinyan's eyes were too dangerous. "Wu Nian is still out there. I will go and find her." She had just put her hand on the handle when Xinyan held her hand and pulled her into his arms. "Aren't you blaming me for not keeping you company? Today and tomorrow, my time is all yours." When did she blame him for not keeping her company? She wished that he would never have time, okay? "Go away, it's too hot." Lu Shuang pushed her. Shen Yan hugged him even tighter. "In order to come to see you, I turned down the kindness of the king of Country M. He wants to give me 10 beautiful women. Do you have any reward for me?" "Yes, please go back to Country M immediately and accept the kindness of the king," Lu Shuang said bluntly. As soon as he finished speaking, Xinyan lowered his head and kissed her. Chapter 343. Are you sure? He's so handsome and pleasing to the eye. Xiao Nian, go and hook up with him. You used to study in America and your English is pretty good. You should be able to communicate with him easily, Lu Shuang said excitedly. The foreign man smiled and looked in their direction. He nodded like a gentleman. "He greeted me. He looks even better when he smiles. Xiao Nian, go and have a try. It's nice to have such a brother-in-law." Lu Shuang smiled. "Don't worry. I'm not interested in a foreign relationship. I'm going to sleep for a while. Wake me up when we're almost there." Wu Nian closed her eyes dispiritedly. Lu Shuang saw that Wu Nian had really closed her eyes. If the emperor was not anxious, the eunuch would be anxious. If Wu Nian did not take the initiative, there was nothing she could do. The plane ascended. Lu Shuang saw that the foreign man was clutching his chest in pain. He took out an asthma spray from his bag. Lu Shuang sighed regretfully. He was a handsome man. He was tall and had an elegant and noble temperament. It was a pity that he had asthma. Asthma could not be cured. He seemed to be in a serious condition. The plane continued to ascend. "Sir, are you okay?" The stewardess walked to the foreign man and asked in English. The man shook his head. "I'm fine." He was speaking in Chinese. This time, Lu Shuang was embarrassed. He had heard everything she had said just now. It was embarrassing. The plane flew for 4.5 hours. When it started to descend, Lu Shuang heard the heavy breathing of the foreign man again. She turned around and looked at the foreign man. He was inhaling the spray, but it did not seem to be getting better. He was coughing and his chest was pressing down. It was difficult for him to breathe and his lips were turning purple. Xiao Nian looked. "Is he dying?" Lu Shuang pushed Wu Nian worriedly. Wu Nian woke up. She opened her eyes and looked at the foreign man. The foreign man was frowning and pressing down on his chest. It was not normal. Wu Nian rushed over and untied the foreign man's clothes. "Miss, the plane is descending now. Please take a seat." The stewardess came over and said, "He has a pneumothorax. We need to deal with it in time. Otherwise, it will be very dangerous. Broadcast it to see if there is a doctor in this field on the plane. In addition, we need a needle. Use alcohol to disinfect it first," Wu Nian said urgently. The stewardess saw that the foreign man really needed emergency treatment, so she hurriedly went to broadcast. Wu Nian comforted her, "Don't worry. Take a deep breath, don't move, and don't be nervous. If there's no doctor, I know this too. You'll be fine." The foreign gentleman stared at Wu Nian, much calmer than before. The stewardess came over with a sterilized needle. "It has been broadcast. Unfortunately, there is no doctor on this plane." Wu Nian picked up the needle and pierced the foreign man's chest. The foreigner took a sharp breath. Wu Nian pulled out the needle. The foreign man could breathe normally again. Wu Nian looked at the stewardess and asked, "How long until we reach the ground?" "There's still 15 minutes left," the stewardess said. "Please call for an ambulance from the hospital to send him to the hospital, is that okay?" Wu Nian said calmly, "I'll do it right away." The stewardess went to the cockpit. The foreign man held Wu Nian's hand. Wu Nian looked at him. "Don't worry. I've already used a pleural puncture to release the air. You need to go to the hospital for a further examination to make sure you're fine. Under normal circumstances, you'll be fine after 3 days of rest. Can you leave your phone number for me? I want to thank you," the foreign man said in fluent Mandarin. Wu Nian smiled and shook his head. "Even if it wasn't you, I would have saved someone else. If there were other doctors here, they would have saved you too. So, you don't need to thank me. I'm just doing what I'm supposed to do. Don't talk too much and rest." Wu Nian stood up and returned to his seat. "Why don't you give him your number? It'll be good if there's a chance to contact him in the future," Lu Shuang said in a low voice. "I'm not interested in a foreign relationship." "Don't do anything like that, Shuang Niu," Wu Nian rejected and looked out of the window. The plane had already passed through the clouds. They could see the entire X city of Country X. Other than the skyscrapers, there was also the Blue Bay. It was not a bad place to spend a holiday. "Don't you need to go through immigration procedures to come here?" Wu Nian asked. "No need. I quarreled with Shen Yan previously and insisted on going out to work. He arranged a position for me in Country X. I can come and go freely in Country X. I'll go to the company later to steal the official seal. I can go to more than 10 countries. They're all branches of Shen Yan's overseas companies all over the world. I'll do that for you too. Good friend, let's share our blessings. If there's a place, let's go together," Lu Shuang said casually. "Okay," Wu Nian replied. Shen Yan was the president of Country A. There were some privileges that she couldn't think of, but there was nothing that he couldn't do. The plane landed. The paramedics in the ambulance carried the foreign gentleman away on a stretcher. Lu Shuang carried the child and walked in front happily. They didn't have any luggage and went straight out. 4 tall men stood in front of them. Lu Shuang raised his head in surprise and looked at them. His face instantly turned pale. "Anifu, why are you here?" Anifu looked troubled. "Madam, sir is very angry." "Isn't Shen Yan in Country M?" Lu Shuang was puzzled. Anifu made way for them. Lu Shuang saw a black Lincoln limousine with black windows. There were more than 20 guards standing around the limousine, so that not even a fly could fly past within a radius of 100 meters. She had a bad feeling about this. The car door was opened by a chauffeur wearing white gloves. Shenyan sat on the sofa inside and looked at her deeply as if he was looking at her. His facial muscles were tight and he was about to explode. The black suit made him look more serious and reserved than usual. It also restrained his ruffian nature and made him look intimidating. Lu Shuang knew that he had been caught in the act. He simply gave up and said, "I just want to come out to play." "Why are you angry?" "Get in the car," Shenyan said coldly. Lu Shuang turned his face away. "I've been on the plane for a few hours. I'm very tired. I don't want to get in the car." "Get in the car." "I don't want to say it a third time. You can't afford to disobey me," Shenyan said sternly. Lu Shuang glared at Shenyan. She still remembered when they were both in primary school. Her father was the director of the hospital. His father was just a businessman. She was stronger than him. Even if he bullied her, she could still fight back. More than 20 years had passed. Her father was still the director of the hospital. His father was already the president and he even made her the president. She felt that she had lost to her father, so her morale was low. She got in the car and preemptively said, "Xiaobao is watching you. If you bully me, he will remember it in his heart." Shenyan waved her hand. Auntie Zhang and Auntie Yang came over and carried Xiaobao away. Chapter 344. By the time Lu Shuang got out of the car, they were already at Shenyan's secret villa in City X. She glanced around, frowned and looked at Shenyan. "Where are Xiaonian and Xiaobao? Where did you take them?" Shenyan got out of the car, put his hands in his pockets, and glanced at the house. Lu Shuang rolled his eyes at him and walked into the villa. He was annoyed when he did not see Wu Nian and Xiaobao. Shenyan was like this every time. Wu Nian was her friend, but whenever he appeared he would drive Wu Nian away. He did not respect people at all, nor did he respect her. But even so, she could not do anything about it. She kicked the sofa to vent her anger, but it was her foot that was hurting. She was really angry. She turned around and looked at Shenyan, who was walking in, and asked, "Where's my friend? Didn't you say he was in the villa? Where's Xiaobao? Xiaobao is your child. You can't see him either." Shenyan sat down on the sofa and patted the back of the sofa lazily, indicating for her to sit down. Lu Shuang refused to sit down and said impatiently, "Hurry up and say it." Shenyan pursed his lips and did not say a word. He looked at her with an oppressive gaze, as if telling her that the more she disobeyed him, the less she could get what she wanted. Lu Shuang was helpless. He put himself on the sofa unwillingly and did not want to look at Shenyan. "You can say it now." He got closer to her and put his hand on the back of the sofa. His breath got closer and he locked his gaze on her face. "Did you feel comfortable just now?" Lu Shuang sneered. He insisted on doing that kind of thing in the car. She asked him to look at her phone, but he did not look at it. She was not willing to do it, and he wanted to fly to a place where Shen could never find him. And he asked her if she felt comfortable? Shouldn't I be the one asking if you're comfortable?" Lu Shuang said unhappily. Shenyan smiled and looked at her with a burning gaze. Her voice was a little hoarse. "It's quite comfortable." Lu Shuang glared at him. This person was really thick-skinned. She had seen him since he was young, and he was bad from the beginning to the end. Why was she so unhappy? She was so angry that she curved her eyes and said with a smile, "President, your skills are not good enough. You need to improve." "Haha." Shenyan was not angry. Instead, she laughed arrogantly and held her hand. "Teach me then." Lu Shuang was speechless. She could teach him to sit on the toilet. Lu Shuang stopped talking. He pursed his lips and stared at Shenyan. If looks could kill, Shenyan would have died hundreds of times. He squeezed her hand. "Don't you want to know where your friend is?" Lu Shuang smiled bitterly. Shenyan always knew her weakness. No matter how angry she was, how much she complained, and how much she hated her, it was useless. "I asked you, but you won't tell me." Lu Shuang said bitterly. His heart was sour and bitter. "Kiss me and I will tell you." Shen Yan smiled wickedly. She had been kissed by him forcefully before, but she had never taken the initiative to kiss him. She did not want to, and she was not willing to. Don't ever say yes. Lu Shuang stood up and walked out. Shen Yan was helpless. She dashed forward and hugged her from behind. You are so impatient. We haven't seen each other for a few days and you don't want to have a good time with me. You are only worried about your friend. If your friend is not a girl, I will definitely be jealous. Lu Shuang's eyes turned red. You dealt with my friend the moment you appeared. I really don't know why I should have a good time with you. Shen Yan, you are so high and mighty now. Even if you do something wrong, no one will dare to blame you. But if you do this, don't expect me to treat you sincerely. It is impossible. Ever. Shen Yan saw that she was serious and frowned. She felt a little down and turned her body to face him. Lu Shuang lowered his head. The more he thought about it, the more pessimistic he became. The more he thought about it, the more he wanted to leave. Auntie Zhang and Auntie Yang have brought Xiao Bao over. He is sleeping now. Recently, the research team has developed a new drug and it is effective on animals. Your friend is going to try this new drug. If it goes well, she will be able to recover, Shen Yan explained. Lu Shuang raised her head and looked at him. She grabbed his arm excitedly. Really? Xiao Bai can be saved? Once Xiao Bai recovered, she could really consider leaving Shen Yan. Shen Yan looked at Lu Shuang's eyes. Don't forget what you promised me. You will stay by my side forever. Lu Shuang smiled and nodded his head without sincerity. That's great, that's great. I want to go see her. I want to go now. Shen Yan, can you send me there? Just based on your performance? Lu Shuang was elated. This was the best news she had heard in the past few years. She kissed Shen Yan's face quickly. Shen Yan was stunned on the spot. There seemed to be an electric current flashing through the place where she kissed just now. This electric current went straight to his heart, creating ripples. He looked at her and couldn't help but soften his gaze. Lu Shuang pulled him away. Can we go now? Shen Yan allowed her to pull him to the door. There were 2 rows of soldiers standing at the door like statues. Shen Yan came out and greeted in unison. Good day, President. Shen Yan only had eyes for Lu Shuang. She didn't even nod her head. Lu Shuang pulled him to the front of the car and looked at him eagerly. Shen Yan chuckled. His eyes were still locked on her. She made a gesture and Anafu went forward to listen. Go to the research lab, Shen Yan ordered. Yes. Anafu immediately went to make arrangements. The driver opened the back door. Lu Shuang quickly got into the car. Shen Yan sat next to her. Anafu sat in the front passenger seat and the driver drove. Behind the car, there were 3 cars, all of which were personal guards. Lu Shuang craned his neck to look in front. She saw that the car didn't leave the manor. Instead, it went to the northernmost corner of the manor. There were 4 guards at the door of a house. She guessed that it was there. As soon as the car stopped, she opened the door and rushed over. But she was stopped by the guards. Lu Shuang turned around and looked at Shen Yan. Let her in. Shen Yan ordered. The guards immediately stopped and stood aside respectfully. Lu Shuang rushed in. Shen Yan stood at the door and looked at Lu Shuang's back. She asked Anafu, Did you follow my orders? Anafu nodded respectfully. Shen Yan's eyes darkened. She nodded and walked to the research lab. Lu Shuang found Wu Nian lying on the white bed. He ran over happily. Shen Yan said that she developed the antidote. Is that true? I just injected it. I need to rest for 4 hours. I will draw my blood for testing after that, Wu Nian said calmly. Do you feel any discomfort? Is it painful? Numb? Sore? Chest tightness? Nausea? Dizzy? Is your breathing smooth? Lu Shuang asked anxiously. Wu Nian shook her head and smiled. She held Lu Shuang's hand. There is no special reaction at the moment. Chapter 345. Wu Nian knew what Lu Shuang meant. Lu Shuang advocated freedom the most. Because he loved freedom, he could leave the protection of his parents and rent a house outside. Because he loved freedom, He could leave his previous stable job in the gynecology and obstetrics department without hesitation. For her sake, he compromised and stayed by Shenyan's side for 2 years. It will definitely start. Wu Nian comforted her. Start what? Shenyan walked in and glanced at Wu Nian, then at Lu Shuang's face. Do you want to listen to us girls talking? Shenyan, you can be a woman in your next life. No, you can be a woman in this life. Medical science is very advanced now. Lu Shuang didn't answer her. Shenyan walked to her side and looked at her with drooping eyes. She said naturally, if I become a woman, what will you use in the future? Your fingers are not as effective as mine. Lu Shuang, her face instantly turned red. Shenyan was too shameless. She said this in the crowd. Lu Shuang leaned against Wu Nian's bed lazily. He smiled and said slowly, don't worry. It's hard to find a 2-legged toad with a wave of my hand, but it's easy to find a 2-legged man. Shen Yan's face instantly turned livid. She narrowed her eyes and said sternly, what did you say? Lu Shuang was angry when he saw her. Shen Yan was quite scary when she was angry, but she didn't want to show weakness. Are your ears bad? Shen Yan sneered. Don't worry. If I become a woman, I will definitely make you a man. I will let you work hard in the future. You are so naughty, and I am also very tired. I have to do physical and mental work, and I have to make you comfortable. Shen Yan's words became more and more flirtatious. She looked at Lu Shuang with burning eyes, full of possessiveness. Lu Shuang was not as thick-skinned as him. Get out. I want to chat with Wu Nian. I'll give you 1 hour. Shen Yan said coldly. Then she turned around and left. Wu Nian looked at Shen Yan's back and frowned. If Shen Yan was not the president and was not married, she might really match them. After all, both of them had Xiaobao's baby. It was a pity that Shen Yan was not qualified to get married. Seeing that Shen Yan had left, Lu Shuang hurriedly closed the door and locked it. Hearing the sound of the door being locked, Shen Yan frowned and turned around. I'm going to sleep with Wu Nian today. Don't wait for me in an hour, Lu Shuang said with his hands on his waist. Hearing that there was no sound outside, he turned around and sat on Wu Nian's bed. Xiao Nian, let me tell you, if you can recover, I might really be able to go far away, Lu Shuang said excitedly. She had always been straightforward, and her temper came and went quickly. Shen Yan is an unfathomable person. Don't let your guard down, Wu Nian reminded. Let me tell you, he promised me that as long as I bid for Dream Girl for 8 million yuan, he would definitely agree to it. He allowed me, you, and Xiaobao to travel for a month. I had already prepared my ID card in Country D. Shenyan didn't have much influence in Country D. Moreover, he was a powerful person in Country D. As long as he enters Country D, he will die miserably. As long as I go to Country D, I will have nothing to worry about. The more Lu Shuang thought about it, the happier he was. Keep a low profile. I have a feeling that Shen Yan won't be easy to deal with, Wu Nian said worriedly. Let's not talk about him first. I want to bid for Dream Girl for 8 million yuan. How can I be sure? Lu Shuang asked. Wu Nian sat up and turned on her phone to search for information about Dream Girl. Dream Girl is an early work of the famous painter Stephen. It's about the daughter of a jewelry merchant in Country X. It's one of the representative works of abstract painting. Lu Shuang read and looked at Wu Nian. Wu Nian searched for Stephen again and found that one of his paintings had been sold for 700,000 yuan. It's only 700,000 yuan. 8 million should be enough, right? Lu Shuang asked uncertainly. Wu Nian didn't look relaxed. Shenyan must have his reasons for paying 8 million yuan. The value of the work will soar. One of the reasons is that the painter is dead. Or, the value of the painting doesn't lie in the work itself. If you want to bid for it, you have to look at the meaning behind the painting. How can we know? How should we know? Lu Shuang was puzzled. She searched on her phone. Is the painter Steve dead? Some netizens said that Stephen has disappeared for 2 years. He might really be dead. It's not concrete evidence. It's just a rumor. It can indeed increase the value of the work within a certain range. However, the gap from 700,000 to 8 million is too big. I think there must be another reason. When is the auction? Wu Nian asked cautiously. The day after tomorrow. It should be the night after tomorrow. Ask Shen about Stephen's address. We'll visit him tomorrow. Wu Nian suggested. Bingo? That's great. You are the leader of the psychological world. You will definitely know the value behind it. You rest first. I'll go find Shen. Lu Shuang went out in a hurry. He forgot that he was going to sleep with Wu Nian tonight. Compared with freedom, temporary grievances were nothing. Shen. Before Lu Shuang arrived, Shen heard his voice. In the whole villa, no one dared to call his full name except for her. He put down his phone and looked at the door. Lu Shuang jumped in and went straight to the point. I want to visit Stephen tomorrow. He's the painter of Dreamgirls. I don't know where he lives. Lu Shuang was speechless. You don't know or you don't want to tell me. Lu Shuang frowned and walked to him. Then why do you have to get Dreamgirls? The painter of Dreamgirls is Mo Shui. She is not only a jeweler but also has countless raw diamonds. She wants to expand the market in a land and is looking for partners. Shen Yan explained. You are the president. Do you have any competitors with your advantage? Lu Shuang was confused. 1 + 1 is not as simple as 2. 8 million is the limit of my estimation. If I can't get it, I will miss this opportunity. Because sometimes opportunities are accompanied by risks and crises. Shen Yan said meaningfully. Why did Lu Shuang feel that he was warning her on purpose? Then I'll go and talk to Wu Nian first. As soon as she turned around, she was picked up by Shen Yan. Lu Shuang was nervous and said in panic, Shen Yan, what are you doing? Put me down. Didn't you say that I didn't do it well? I want to ask for advice and improve it. He said wickedly and carried her to the room. Lu Shuang understood what he meant. You have asked for it. You've already eaten. Can you not eat in the future? He said confidently. You have asked for it today. Lu Shuang emphasized the word, today. You have more than one meal today. Lu Shuang was speechless. She struggled to get down. Chapter 346. The secret that I want to know? Lu Shuang was puzzled. What? I'm not in a good mood now. He smiled wickedly and put her on the bed. About you? Lu Shuang narrowed his eyes and asked tentatively. Shen Yan smiled even more and her tone became gentle. You want to know more about me? Lu Shuang swayed his legs lazily. You can get out now. Shen Yan leaned forward and lifted Lu Shuang's chin. He looked at her with a burning gaze. I like to see you being cocky. Lu Shuang pushed his hand away and said coldly, Get out. You can still see me being cocky. The secret is about the charity gala. Don't you want to go out and have fun? Shen Yan asked with a smirk. Taking advantage of her momentary hesitation, he lifted her ankle and directly conquered it. Lu Shuang furrowed her brows and slapped him on the face, making a crisp sound. He held Lu Shuang's wrist and pressed it above her head, staring at her. If it were anyone else who dared to slap his face, they would definitely be dead. However, Lu Shuang slapped his face every day. He slapped her again and again with great strength, as if he wanted to reach the depths of her soul. Lu Shuang glared at Shen Yan. He felt like 10,000 horses were galloping in his heart. In terms of technique, everyone was better than him. She couldn't break free at all. If he was done with her and said that he felt uncomfortable, the secret would be revealed. Get off me, Lu Shuang said angrily. Shen Yan tightened the muscles on his face and his beautiful face became more resolute. He was still using more strength and said unhappily, You don't want the secret anymore? If this went on, she felt that she would die before she got the secret. Let me do it. Shen Yan was stunned and his eyes were filled with surprise. He looked at Lu Shuang in disbelief. You do it? Lu Shuang pursed his lips and didn't want to speak. She felt very aggrieved now. Shen Yan smiled, flipped over, and carried her onto the bed. Lu Shuang looked at his charming face. It was such a waste that he didn't want to be a woman. You know what to do. You don't need me to teach you. I'm in a good mood now. Shen Yan looked at him patiently and raised his eyebrows. Lu Shuang took a deep breath and put the pillow on his face. She really wanted to kill him. But if she killed him, she wouldn't be able to live. And Wu Nian wouldn't be able to live either. She let go of his hand and didn't press him down. Instead, she slowly moved closer to him. Shenyan took the pillow away and looked at Lu Shuang's face gently. He smiled. Indeed, you look prettier when I look at you like this. If you're in a good mood, you should tell me the secret. If you go back on your words, don't expect me to do it willingly in the future. Lu Shuang warned. Shenyan held her waist. When have I ever lied to you? Ah! Lu Shuang chuckled. His chuckle was full of sarcasm and negation. Shen Yan's honesty and credibility with her was zero. How could he be so thick-skinned to say that he had never lied to her? Shen Yan touched her nose. Focus. She didn't know if it was because Shen Yan had asked for it not long ago or if she was really not focused, but he still hadn't come out after half an hour. Her legs were sore and her muscles were stiff. She didn't want to move at all. So annoying. Even King Kong will feel tired. You must have taken too much medicine. It's so annoying. Lu Shuang complained. He couldn't take it anymore and lay down at the side. Shen Yan smiled happily and kissed her lips. It was his turn now. Lu Shuang fell asleep in a daze. After some time, he opened his eyes. The sky was already dark. What time is it now? Lu Shuang asked. Shen Yan was woken up by her. She took the phone from the bedside table and looked at it. 4:15. It's still early. Sleep a little more. It's already 4:15? What's Xiaobai's condition now? You haven't told me your secret yet. Lu Shuang pushed Shenyan. Shenyan had no choice but to sit up and switch on the lights. He looked at her with sleepy eyes. Wu Nian's blood test is out. It's normal for now. I told you my secret last night. Didn't you hear me? Lu Shuang hit his shoulder. I was asleep. How could I hear you? Tell me later. Also, is Wu Nian going back to normal in the future? Shenyan held her hand and looked into her eyes. He asked again, you promised me that if I could cure her, you would follow me for the rest of your life. Is that still valid? Of course. Lu Shuang said without hesitation. Shenyan pursed his lips. The research this time was very successful. Wu Nian is already recovering. If there are no accidents, she should be back to normal. But, if you go back on your word, I will kill whoever I save. I will not show any mercy to you. Do you understand? Lu Shuang was in a daze. He nodded his head and felt a little flustered. If she were to leave, she would definitely bring Xiaobai along. Shen Yan was a ruthless person. He would do something like this. But, are you flustered? Shen Yan's face darkened. He tightened his grip on her hand. Lu Shuang pulled his hand out and clenched his fists tightly. She should not feel guilty. Shen Yan was such a capable person. He would be able to tell if she was flustered. How can you be merciless to me? Lu Shuang asked. As long as you stay by my side obediently, I will give you a good life. Don't challenge me. I know what you care about most, such as Wu Nian, Xiaobao, and your parents. Shen Yan hinted. Lu Shuang's heart became more and more desolate. What she wanted was never glory and splendor. What she wanted, Shen Yan could never give her. However, he did know where her weakness was. What is the secret you want to tell me? Lu Shuang changed the topic. Su Jiaran and Gu Lingqing will be attending the auction tomorrow. They are determined to get their hands on Dreamlike Girl. They feel that if they manage to get their hands on Dreamlike Girl, they would be halfway to success. In reality, Mo Shui doesn't care about the painting Dreamlike Girl. She cares about Steven, the artist. Shen Yan said. What's the use of telling me this? Lu Shuang was puzzled. There is another person who will go there tomorrow. He is a British nobleman and has inherited his mother's title. He is also very rich. He is also Steven's good friend. So, if you can't get the painting, you can ask Steven for help. You will have a higher chance of winning. Don't you want to ask him yourself? You are so eloquent. Lu Shuang looked at Shen Yan suspiciously. Chapter 347. Lu Shuang knew what Shenyan was planning. You mean, if I help you negotiate with Mo Shui, you will also let me go out for a month? Lu Shuang needed confirmation. Not only will you go out for a month, but I will also give you all the jewelry companies I have invested in a land, Shenyan said in a deep voice. Give me. Lu Shuang looked at Shenyan suspiciously and said in disbelief, I can go out for fun and take the jewelry companies. It doesn't sound like a loss at all. Shenyan, won't you work for nothing? In my impression, you will never do a losing business. I only want you. In my eyes, you are more precious than the jewelry companies, Shenyan said with a smile. Lu Shuang got up from the bed. Please allow me to go to the toilet to vomit for a while. Shenyan watched Lu Shuang walk into the toilet with sadness in her eyes. He could not give her anything except for the title. He would give everything else just to keep her by his side. Lu Shuang went to look for Wu Nian early in the morning. By the time she found Wu Nian, he had already run 10 laps around the manor. He was drenched in sweat as he continued to run. Xiao Nian, I have something important to tell you, Lu Shuang shouted. Hearing Lu Shuang's voice, Wu Nian stopped, turned around, wiped the sweat on his face with a towel, and walked towards Lu Shuang. Shenyan said that you should be fine and recovering, right? Lu Shuang asked. Wu Nian nodded and said rationally, yes, she said that. Let's see how it goes. If you recover, will you go to Gu Lingqing? After all, you have a child with him. You should still have feelings for him, Lu Shuang asked tentatively. Wu Nian shook his head. When I jumped into the river, I told myself that if I could survive, I wouldn't be a burden to Gu Lingqing anymore. Even if my body was cured, it would still be crippled. Lu Shuang held Wu Nian's hand. Then come with me. We'll go to Country D together and live happily ever after. Wu Nian gazed at Lu Shuang and smiled. If I wanted to leave, I wouldn't have come back. Cool girl, I know what you're thinking. You've done so much for me. I'm still alive because of you. I really appreciate it. But let's stop here. You've been there. The life you want to live. Shenyan said that if I escape, she will deal with you. I'm worried about you, Lu Shuang said worriedly. If you've escaped, what's the use of dealing with me? I'll be fine. Even if something happens, I've already earned it. It's fate. There's no need to force it. Wu Nian was open-minded. If I leave, Shenyan won't help you teach in primary school. Gu Lingqing ranks so high after you. Even if you stay here, you won't be able to see little Yen, Lu Shuang advised. My soul is here. I'll live and earn. If I leave, I'll just be a walking corpse. There's no need for that. Cool girl, it's enough to have you as a friend in this life. Wu Nian was very sure of what she wanted. Lu Shuang lowered his head gloomily. She knew that she could never persuade Bai Ye, not in the past and not now. Before she left, she had to ensure the safety of Wu Nian and her family. She didn't know many people and there weren't many big shots. The only one who could help her, no matter how she counted, seemed to be Gu Lingqing. After all, the current Gu Lingqing was rich, and in the past, Gu Lingqing almost became the president. I got it. By the way, there's one more thing I want to tell you. Today, Shenyan told me that the man you saved on the plane yesterday is an Englishman named Alan. He's a good friend of the writer Stephen. Lu Shuang paused and said unconfidently, if you help Gu Lingqing, I'll do it. It doesn't matter. Gu Lingqing is doing business, and you are doing freedom. I will do my best to help you. What do you need me to do? Tell me. Wu Nian said straightforwardly. Shenyan said that Gu Lingqing and Su Jiaran are determined to get the painting Dream Girl because they want to cooperate with Mo Shui in the jewelry industry in a land. However, what Mo Shui cares about most is not the painting, but the painter of the painting. Lu Shuang explained. I know what to do. Tomorrow, Gu Lingqing and Shenyan will go, so I won't go. If you can't get the painting, give me Alan's contact number, and I'll contact him. Wu Nian got it immediately. They don't have Alan's phone number, but Shenyan said that Alan will go tomorrow too. Lu Shuang explained. Shenyan must have it. Wu Nian was sure. In the evening, Shenyan went back to China. Lu Shuang dreamed the whole night, and the dream and reality combined. She dreamed that she escaped and sat on a boat, watching Xinyan stab a dagger into Wu Nian's heart. Wu Nian said to her with a smile, "It doesn't matter. Live well." She cried in the dream. When she turned around, she saw her parents on the boat. Her mother said, "We are safe." But she found that her father was gone. Shen Yiyan caught up with her and caught her father. Her father and Xinyan fell into the sea together. She couldn't find her father no matter how hard she tried. She woke up crying. It was still dark. She looked at the time. It was 3 o'clock in the morning. She couldn't sleep. The dream was too real. She was afraid that if she left, she would have to pay with blood. She sat on the bed, curled up her feet, hugged her knees, and lowered her head to meditate. It was not until dawn that she finally picked up her phone and made a call. "Hello, what's the matter?" On the other end of the phone, Gu Lingqing's deep voice sounded. "Gu Lingqing, this is Lu Shuang. I want to ask you something. If Bai Ye is still alive, but there is a very powerful force that wants to kill her. Can you protect her safety? This powerful force is beyond your imagination." Lu Shuang asked. "No matter how powerful the force is, I will protect her with my life." Gu Lingqing said without thinking, but her voice was still cold. "I will tell you Bai Ye's whereabouts. You must protect Bai Ye. In addition, I want to ask you to protect my parents' safety. Is that okay?" Lu Shuang asked worriedly. Gu Lingqing was silent for a while. Suspicion flashed in her eyes. "You should ask Xinyan for help. His force is not weaker than mine now." Back then, Bai Ye was infected with a virus and was forced to jump into the sea by Su Jiran. Even when she was fished out, she was unconscious and dying. At that time, I was saved by your people. Shen Yan found me and said that he could save Xiao Bai, but he had to let me follow him. I was very worried about Xiao Bai's safety, so I agreed to Shen Yan's condition and returned to Shen Yan's side. Shen Yan really saved Xiao Bai. Xiao Bai has been seeing patients for the past 2 years. Among them, he had his bone marrow changed and he had plastic surgery. Chapter 348. Unyan? If she was Xiao Ye, why didn't she tell me? The change of bone marrow means that her DNA has also changed, right? Gu Lingqing didn't believe it and asked. Xiao Bai said that he doesn't want to be a burden to you anymore, so he appeared in front of you with a new face. Lu Shuang explained. You don't want to be a burden? But she specifically came to my company to apply for a private tutoring position. Gu Lingqing still did not believe it. That's because Xiao Yan is her child. She missed her child. A year ago, when she found out that Xiao Yan had come to your side, she ran out of the laboratory to see Xiao Yan. But at that time, she was rejected by the medicine, and the side effects were severe. She fainted not long after running. She had to change her bone marrow and blood to survive, Lu Shuang said anxiously. Why didn't you say it earlier or later? Why did you say it now? Do you think the time is ripe? Gu Lingqing said sarcastically. Lu Shuang could tell from his tone that he did not believe her. He got angry and raised his voice. That's because Xinyan had just developed the antidote. Now that Xiao Bai is back to normal, I want to be free. However, Xinyan threatened me that if I were to escape, the first person he would deal with would be Xiao Bai and my parents. Is that so? Why don't I mention another possibility? You are already Xinyan's woman. So, you found a woman who is similar to Xiao Ye and want to put her by my side. You want her to replace Xiao Ye's position in my heart and control me, Gu Lingqing said coldly. Lu Shuang was about to explode. It's fine if you don't believe me, but you still doubt me. I'm sorry, I take back my words. Xiao Bai doesn't want to be with you, not because she's afraid of dragging you down, but because she doesn't like you at all. What did you say? Gu Lingqing's voice was as cold as ice. Isn't that so? Otherwise, why is Xiao Bai still unwilling to come to your side even though she has already detoxified the poison? You must have forgotten what you have done to her. You fired her for no reason and spoke rudely to her, slandering her. If I were Xiao Bai, I would also leave you. Get lost. Lu Shuang hung up the phone angrily. She smashed the phone on the bed. She must have been crazy to tell Gu Lingqing that Wu Nian was Xiao Bai and hoped that Gu Lingqing would protect Wu Nian. How could this be? Gu Lingqing didn't trust her at all, let alone Wu Nian. Now, Gu Lingqing's path was blocked. An idea flashed through Lu Shuang's mind. Isn't Alan a British nobleman? It's a hereditary title and his wealth is comparable to that of a country. Perhaps his influence in England is comparable to that of Gu Lingqing. If Aaron accepts Xiao Bai can bring Xiao Yan to rely on him. Xiao Bai might be able to live a happy life and not be as lonely as she is now. Bingo. She knew what to do now. Xiao Bai. Lu Shuang found Wu Yan, who was jogging again. Perhaps it was because of his recovery, she felt that Wu Yan seemed to have lost weight. Wu Yan knocked on Lu Shuang's head. Call him Xiao Yan. It's a habitual form of address. It's easy to say it without thinking. Have you bought clothes? Lu Shuang asked. I bought some yesterday, Wu Yan replied. I haven't bought any yet. Lu Shuang thought of the new clothes he was wearing and smiled awkwardly. Shen Yan asked his men to buy some for me, but I don't like them. Can you accompany me to buy them now? I'll take a shower and change my clothes to accompany you. Wu Yan agreed readily. They drove to the mall and had breakfast on the way. Lu Shuang bought a lot of beautiful clothes and even bought 2 for Wu Yan. They had lunch outside too. After lunch, Lu Shuang insisted on going to the beauty salon. He asked the stylist to cut Wu Yan's hair and dyed it a brownish yellow. I think this hairstyle suits you very well. Your face is small to begin with. With this hairstyle, no one will doubt you if you say you're 23 years old, Lu Shuang said with satisfaction. Wu Yan stared at Lu Shuang. You bought clothes for me and brought me to the beauty salon. You even rushed to pay before I did. You want me to attend the auction. Lu Shuang smiled and said honestly, I really can't hide anything from your eyes. I don't dare to go alone. I've never been to an auction before and I don't know what others are thinking. With you around, I feel more at ease and I won't be at a loss. Wu Yan understood that the auction was very important to Lu Shuang. He calmed down and said in a deep voice, I'll go with you. That's great. I'll feel more at ease if you go with me. Lu Shuang picked up the brush on the table and said, let's ask the makeup artist to do some makeup. We're going to the upper class this time. They will look down on us if we don't put on makeup. What are you planning? Wu Yan asked directly. I'll be happy if you're beautiful. Lu Shuang was afraid that Wu Yan would notice something, so he ran out of the room and called for the makeup artist. But Wu Yan had already seen her guilty behavior. She knew that Lu Shuang had always wanted her to find a man. But her heart had died on that deserted island and could never come back to life again. At 7 o'clock in the evening, they went to the auction. There was a buffet at the auction. The auction would start at 8 o'clock. Those who came could eat there. Wu Yan ate very little. She only took a piece of steak and a glass of red wine and sat in the corner. Lu Shuang brought a lot of food over. He glanced at Wu Yan's plate and sat opposite her. You were fat because of the medicine. Now that your body has recovered, you won't need to take the medicine anymore. You'll lose weight quickly. You don't have to do this to your stomach. I'm used to it. This nutrition is enough for a day, Wu Yan said calmly. Lu Shuang glanced at the food on the table and felt guilty. He had been overeating because he wanted to get fat, which made Shen Yan despise him. She would be free soon, so she should not eat carelessly anymore. She only ate a piece of steak and learned from Wu Yan. She chewed it slowly and mixed it with red wine that could increase her metabolism. Wu Yan smiled at her and lowered her head to continue eating. She felt a shadow shrouding her. She looked up and saw Su Jiaran. On the surface, he looked handsome, refined, and had a noble temperament. However, only the women around him knew his true nature. She looked away and continued eating, as if she did not want to talk to him. Su Jiaran smiled wickedly and did not leave. He said gently, I didn't expect to meet you here. I went to your hotel to look for you, but I couldn't find you. So you're in country X. Wu Yan did not say anything and pretended that she did not hear him. Feeling awkward, Su Jiaran cleared his throat and asked, Can we get to know each other? Wu Yan put down his cutlery and leaned back in his chair. He looked at Su Jiaran. I heard that you've slept with more than 100 women in the 3 years you've been married? Su Jiaran paused and looked at Lu Shuang. Chapter 349. People should never make big mistakes. Otherwise, these big mistakes will always show their consequences at a certain stage of life. For example, now, Su Jiaran couldn't explain it. After all, it was the truth, and it was the past that he wanted to erase the most. When you were young and frivolous, you didn't know how to cherish it. When you lost it, it was too late to regret. Really? Wu Nian stood up. Then you should repent, instead of chasing after women everywhere. Excuse me. Su Jiaran's body moved along with her eyes. Looking at her back, he wanted to say something, but many words were choked in his throat. Lu Shuang laughed. Su Jiaran looked at Lu Shuang unhappily. If everyone likes to gossip like you, I'm afraid you wouldn't be alive now. Let me correct you. I'm not gossiping. I'm speaking up for justice. I'm not slandering you. I'm telling the objective truth, okay? Then it's also the objective truth that you followed the married Shinin. It's also the objective truth that you have a child that can't be exposed to the public. If this matter is known by the president's wife, or if it is made public, what do you think will happen? Su Jiaran said coldly. Lu Shuang's smile froze on his face. What he said was the most shameful thing for her. Do you think I want to? Lu Shuang looked at Su Jiaran sharply. So, I hope you learn what to say and what not to say. Otherwise, don't blame me for giving you a taste of your own medicine next time. Su Jiaran said coldly and turned around. Lu Shuang pursed his lips and gritted his teeth. It was because there were so many scumbags in the world that warm men were especially precious. She found Wu Nian outside the hotel. She was looking out of the window, thinking. Su Jiaran is really annoying. Lu Shuang complained. Wu Nian didn't even turn his head as he said in a low voice, "A scourge lives for 1,000 years. In the future, just stay away from him." Lu Shuang responded and followed Wu Nian's line of sight. It was an expensive Rolls-Royce. The driver, who was wearing white gloves, opened the car door. Gu Lingqing leaned forward and got out of the car. The Gundam stood upright outside the car. It seemed to have sensed someone looking at it, so it raised its head and looked upstairs. Do you think Gu Lingqing will see us? Lu Shuang asked. I don't know, Wu Nian replied. Gu Lingqing withdrew his gaze and walked towards the hotel. Wu Nian was still standing by the window. Should we go in and hide, in case he sees us and accuses us of peeping at him? Lu Shuang suggested. If we hide, people will think we are doing it on purpose. Just ignore him. Wu Nian continued to stand by the window. Gu Lingqing walked out of the elevator and looked straight ahead. He didn't even look at them as he walked into the reception hall. Lu Shuang was a little sad. She had told Gu Lingqing that Wu Nian was Baiya. He was even more mean and heartless than she had imagined. Gu Lingqing's eyes are on the top of his head. I told him. Lu Shuang immediately stopped and almost spilled the beans. Wu Nian looked at Lu Shuang. What did you tell him? Lu Shuang turned around and faced Wu Nian. I told him that you are very similar to Baiya. You have the same voice, the same temper, and the same character. But he still treats you like that. I feel bad for you. Wu Nian twitched the corner of his mouth. It's because we have looked at each other so many times that he is even more repulsed. Gu Lingqing is not a person who knows how to open his heart to others. He is very defensive. Why don't you find another man you like and get married and have children with him? Forget about Gu Lingqing and don't care about him anymore, Lu Shuang said angrily. Let's not talk about him. The auction is about to start, right? Wu Nian asked. He turned around and looked out of the door. Almost everyone was walking towards the meeting room. It should be starting soon. Lu Shuang looked at the elevator and frowned. That Alan still hasn't arrived yet? Is he waiting for someone? Wu Nian looked at Lu Shuang and asked. That Alan hasn't appeared yet. Will he not appear? Lu Shuang said worriedly. Will that Alan appear? He had pneumothorax last time. No matter what, he needs to rest for 3 days. Moreover, he has asthma. He shouldn't appear in crowded places, places with poor ventilation, or places with a lot of pollen. Shenyan said he will come. The moment Lu Shuang finished his words, she saw the elevator door open. Alan was wearing a light blue suit and walking towards them. He's here. He's here. He is really here. Lu Shuang said excitedly and held Lu Shuang's hand. Wu Nian glanced at Lu Shuang and then fixed her eyes on Alan. Alan stared at Wu Nian, the corners of his mouth slightly raised, his dark blue eyes not concealing his joy at seeing her. I didn't expect to meet you here. You said that the next time we meet, you'll give me your contact information. Lu Shuang looked at Wu Nian excitedly, but found that Wu Nian was still calm and indifferent. I'm curious. Why did you risk your life to come here? Wu Nian asked coldly. There is something I want here. My grandmother asked me to get it for her, Alan explained. Does your grandmother not know about your physical condition? Wu Nian smiled, turned around and walked towards the meeting room. Lu Shuang looked at Aaron and then at Wu Nian. He followed behind Wu Nian. Aren't you going to ask him for his contact information? I'm sure Shenyan has his contact information. If we can film Dream Girl, there's no need to get to know another person. If we can't, it won't be too late to contact him then, Wu Nian said calmly. Lu Shuang pursed her lips and looked back regretfully. She was looking forward to Alan and Wu Nian's meeting. Wu Nian said that Gu Lingqing was very defensive. So was she. She had probably built a wall around her. They entered the meeting room. Lu Shuang registered with his ID card, bound his credit card and got a plate. They sat in the corner. Su Jiaran looked back and found Wu Nian. She stood up from the first row and walked to the last row. She sat next to Wu Nian and smiled innocently. She looked at Wu Nian and asked, No one wants to sit here, right? Are you going to sit here? Wu Nian asked. Su Jiaran did not deny it. Wu Nian smiled. It just so happens that I want to sit in the first row. It's a pity that you took it. Thank you for giving up your seat. Su Jiaran was speechless. She pulled Lu Shuang up and walked to the first row. They sat in Su Jiaran's original seat. Lu Shuang turned around and looked at Su Jiaran. He covered his mouth and laughed. Xiao Nian, you're amazing. I can see that Su Jiaran's face is pale. Wu Nian frowned and thought. It's really annoying to be pestered by him. Maybe. Chapter 350. Maybe what? Lu Shuang asked. Wu Nian looked at Lu Shuang and said, Shenyan is very powerful in Country X. It shouldn't be a problem to ask him to help me get a fake marriage certificate. Lu Shuang frowned and said with distress, You really don't want to be happy anymore. Wu Nian held Lu Shuang's hand and said with a smile, I know what I'm doing. Lu Shuang pulled his hand away and looked at the table sadly. He murmured, I can't help you with this matter, because I will leave for Country D soon. Even if Shenyan can help, it will only be temporary. Wu Nian thought so. Shenyan helped her because Lu Shuang was there. Once Lu Shuang left, he didn't need to help her. Maybe Shenyan would really kill her. She had been a burden to Lu Shuang for 2 years. She didn't want Lu Shuang to sacrifice for her again. I have another way. Wu Nian said with a smile, which reassured Lu Shuang. Lu Shuang's eyes reddened as she looked at the smiling Wu Nian. Can't you come with me? I'm worried about you. I'll be fine. I promise. Why don't you try Alan? Alan is a bigwig in England. No matter how powerful Shenyan is, he won't go to England. Besides, with Alan's protection, you don't have to worry about Su Jiaran. Lu Shuang suggested. I know what to do. Don't worry. Wu Nian kept smiling as if she had won. Lu Shuang's heart sank. He didn't know why, but he couldn't be at ease at all. The auction began. There were 12 collections for auction this time. Lu Shuang had been waiting for the auction of Dream Girl. But after bidding for 8 collectibles, there was still no sign of it. The 9th item was a jade necklace. The starting price was 10 million, and every time the card was raised, the price would increase by 200,000. Lu Shuang couldn't help but roll his eyes. He was really a local tycoon. Wasn't he afraid of being robbed when he wore a necklace worth 10 million yuan? According to the house price in City A, he was walking with a small villa on the road. 10 million, is there any higher price than 10 million? The host shouted excitedly as if he had been injected with chicken blood. 10, 2 million, 10. For million, 13 million, 13 million once, 13 million twice, 13 million thrice. Congratulations, customer, you have obtained a jade necklace. Lu Shuang followed the host's line of sight, wanting to see the true face of this rich man. After Alan smiled elegantly, he looked at Lu Shuang and nodded like a gentleman. Lu Shuang squeezed Wu Nian and said in a low voice, Alan bought it. He is not just an ordinary rich man. Didn't he say that his grandmother wanted it? Besides, his title of nobility is hereditary. If I'm not wrong, his grandmother's status should be much higher than his, so he had to buy it. Wu Nian judged. I see. Lu Shuang understood. The painting Dream Girl was put at the end. The starting price was 500,000, and every time the card was raised, the price would increase by 20,000. Lu Shuang was the first to raise his card. He said to Wu Nian, it doesn't look expensive. I have a budget of 10 million yuan, so I should be able to buy it. Wu Nian turned around and looked at Su Jiaran. He had been staring at her with an evil smile, as if he was above the auction. Just raise the price to 8 million. Wu Nian said to Lu Shuang. But Lu Shuang was puzzled. Some people are here specifically for the painting Dreamlike Girl, but before they come, they should have a price in mind. You can directly raise the price to $8 million and see if anyone follows. Then, you will know if you can get the painting or not, Wu Nian analyzed. Lu Shuang trusted Wu Nian's judgment. He raised his card and said loudly, I bid 8 million. 8 million? The host was shocked and stunned for a moment. Then, he shouted excitedly, 8 million, anyone else? 8 million going once. That gentleman bid 8,020,000. 8,020,000, 8,020,000, anyone else? The host subconsciously looked at Lu Shuang, and Lu Shuang immediately raised his sign. Wu Nian glanced at Su Jiaran. Su Jiaran smiled as he waved the token in his hand, looking very relaxed. Wu Nian frowned and looked at Lu Shuang. 10 million. I don't have any more after 10 million. Shouldn't I increase the price bit by bit? Lu Shuang had a bad feeling. She might lose the chance to win Dreamlike Girl. What if someone bids 20,000 more than you? Wu Nian said in a low voice. Lu Shuang understood. She glared at Su Jiaran, who was sitting in the corner, raised her card and shouted, 10 million. Many people were shocked when she opened her mouth this time. Su Jiaran still raised her card slowly. 10,020,000, 10,020,000, anyone else? The host became excited and looked at Lu Shuang. Lu Shuang angrily smashed the card on the table. Seeing that Lu Shuang had no chance, the host flattered Su Jiaran and shouted, 10,020,000 going once, 10,020,000 going twice. 11 million. Gu Lingqing's voice was heard. It was very low, so low that it was restrained, like the sound of nature. Everyone was shocked. They were discussing and looking for the source of the voice. Su Jiaran couldn't stay calm anymore. He glanced at Gu Lingqing. Gu Lingqing didn't even look at him. She slightly raised the corner of her mouth and said meaningfully, as if she knew everything. Wu Nian also saw the smile on Gu Lingqing's face. He looked at Su Jiaran again. Su Jiaran's eyes changed from laziness to sharpness. He raised the card in his hand. 11.02 million. Before the host could finish speaking, Gu Lingqing's voice was heard shouting, 12 million. Su Jiaran gritted her teeth and raised her card again. 12,020,000. The host announced. Everyone's eyes were on Gu Lingqing. 13 million. Gu Lingqing said in a light and breezy manner. Su Jiaran clenched her fist and hesitated. Are Gu Lingqing and Su Jiaran going to fight to the death? Lu Shuang asked Wu Nian. Wu Nian looked at Gu Lingqing's expressionless face. She had never seen him clearly. He was good at hiding his emotions. Therefore, she couldn't see through Gu Lingqing's thoughts. 13 million going once, 13 million going twice, 13 million. Su Jiaran shouted at the last moment, 14 million. 15 million. Gu Lingqing shouted immediately. Su Jiaran sneered. He slammed the card on the table and stood up. He shouted to Gu Lingqing, 16 million. The host was shocked. She looked at Gu Lingqing. The audience was silent. Gu Lingqing also stood up. He gathered his clothes and looked at Su Jiaran. He said meaningfully, winning doesn't mean winning. Losing doesn't mean losing either. Thank you. Su Jiaran frowned. What do you mean? Chapter 351. Xiao Nian, what does Gu Lingqing mean? Lu Shuang asked, puzzled. Wu Nian shook her head. Gu Lingqing was too mysterious. She really couldn't see through it. The important thing now is not to guess the meaning of Gu Lingqing's words, but to move on to the second step, Wu Nian said rationally. Lu Shuang came back to his senses and hurriedly looked for Alan. Luckily, Alan was still sitting in his previous seat. He stood up and walked towards Wu Nian. May I invite you to have supper with me? He asked warmly. Lu Shuang looked at Wu Nian. Wu Nian nodded. Alan smiled. My pleasure. He walked in front. Lu Shuang pulled Wu Nian over. When they were about to reach the door, Su Jiaran blocked Wu Nian's way. Let's have supper together? I'm sorry, the beauty has a date. Lu Shuang said on behalf of Wu Nian. He pushed Su Jiaran away. Su Jiaran squinted his eyes and looked at Wu Nian's back. The more he looked, the more familiar he felt. It was as if she was Bai Ye. Otherwise, how could there be two people in the world with such a similar back view? They had the same voice and the same personality. He had to find out more. Alan stayed in this hotel. They didn't drive out, but went to the hotel's restaurant directly. What do you like to eat? Alan asked Wu Nian and handed the menu to Wu Nian. Wu Nian handed the menu to Lu Shuang. You order now. Alan took a sip of tea and looked at Wu Nian. Can I have your number now? Mr. Alan, have you ever thought that Dream Girl could be sold at such a high price? Wu Nian changed the topic. Alan smiled warmly. It's within my expectations. They're all from Country A. They must be interested in Mo Shui's cooperation in Country A. Then you should know why we are eating with you. Wu Nian went straight to the point. Alan laughed even more cheerfully. You're so straightforward? I just feel that there's no need to pretend and be polite in front of smart people. That will only make me look hypocritical. While I'm hypocritical, I'll look like a clown in front of others. If Mr. Allen can help, this meal will be on me. If Mr. Allen can't help, that's normal too. Wu Nian said directly. I can arrange for you to meet Stephen, Allen said straightforwardly. Wu Nian also revealed a smile, picked up the teacup in his hand, and clinked it with Allen's. Tea instead of wine, a toast to you. A toast in return, my beautiful princess. Allen picked up the cup with the innate nobility of the British royal family. He took a sip and put down the cup. I don't know if I can have the honor to get your contact information. Of course, if you don't want to, it doesn't matter. It won't affect whether I can help you or not. Lu Shuang held his chin with both hands, stared at Allen and said, Xiao Nian, give it to him. Wu Nian thought for 3 seconds and asked softly, Mr. Allen, what's the reason why you don't get married? If I say that I haven't met the right person, you'll think that my answer is very exaggerated. I've had 4 girlfriends. The first one was my high school classmate. After I went to college, because of the long separation, our feelings for each other faded. My second girlfriend was in college. After 3 years of dating, we found that their personalities were not suitable for each other, so we broke up. I quite liked my third girlfriend, and we dated for 2 years. But because of our different life philosophies, as time went by, contradictions became the whole of my life. I was very tired, so we broke up. My fourth girlfriend was introduced to me by an elder. I never had any feelings for her, so I don't want to be tied down. I still want to find a girl that I like, Alan explained. Although you have a lot of girlfriends, it sounds very sincere, Lu Shuang said to Wu Nian. Wu Nian smiled slightly. Mr. Allen is a person who pays attention to perfection. He has very high requirements for his other half. The thoughts of your family are also very important to you. You are a man who shows your charm all the time. You're right. That's true. However, if I like the other party enough, I will convince my family. I also have the confidence and ability to convince my family, Alan said with certainty. Lu Shuang saw that Wu Nian and Alan were chatting well, and smiled slyly. Xiao Nian, I just remembered that I still have a very important thing to do. Excuse me, you guys talk. Mr. Allen, remember to send our Xiao Nian back. Lu Shuang did not wait for Wu Nian to speak. She picked up her bag and left. As soon as she left, Wu Nian felt that the atmosphere was very awkward. She handed the menu to Alan. Since it's my treat, Mr. Allen can order. Lu Shuang heard this sentence at the door, and he was very happy. If Wu Nian and Alan could develop smoothly, that would be the best. She was just about to leave when she saw Gu Lingqing coming out from the private room diagonally opposite. She was angry when she saw Gu Lingqing's attitude in the morning. She crossed her arms and walked forward proudly, saying sarcastically, "Do you think that my Xiaobai has no other man except for you? I'm sorry, Gu Lingqing, you overestimate yourself. Xiaobai is dating Mr. Allen now." Gu Lingqing did not look at Lu Shuang and said coldly, "If she is Bai Ye, she will not date other men. My Xiaobai has a good character and looks. Why can't she date other men? Or is it that you, Gu Lingqing, think highly of yourself and think that my Xiaobai will not like anyone else except you? You, Gu Lingqing, treat my Xiaobai so badly, it would be strange if she still likes you." Lu Shuang said angrily. "If she dates other men, she will not be worthy of my love," Gu Lingqing said indifferently. "So you should quickly forget about my Xiaobai and find a new wife. My Xiaobai is unlucky to have you thinking about her." "You know that I am Bai Ye's best friend, but you still treat me with this attitude. It seems that you do not like my Xiaobai very much," Lu Shuang said sarcastically. He walked towards the elevator. Gu Lingqing was frustrated. He frowned and walked towards the elevator on the other side. His phone rang. He saw that it was Zhang Xingyu's call and picked it up. "What is it?" "President Gu, I finally found out. I always felt that the people in the orphanage were a little strange, so I specially looked into the children who were adopted from the orphanage. One of the children who was adopted last year said that he had been in the orphanage for 5 years and did not know any Wu Nian. Wu Nian should have just entered the orphanage this year. Her resume was fake." Chapter 352. "I got it. Don't mention this to anyone else other than me," Gu Lingqing said in a low voice. Gu Lingqing said in a low voice. From the corner of his eye, he saw Wu Nian walking towards him. He turned around and faced Wu Nian. His eyes were dark and cold. Wu Nian was going to the washroom. He took a glance at Gu Lingqing and felt that there was no need to greet him. He walked into the washroom and washed his hands. He saw Gu Lingqing in the mirror, who was also walking in. He just looked at her resolutely, as if he was guessing something and did not say a word. Wu Nian retracted his gaze, washed his hands, wiped the tissue, and walked out as if he did not know him. "Let's have a chat," Gu Lingqing said in a low voice when she walked past him. "I'm sorry, I'm not free," Wu Nian rejected directly. "If you're playing hard to get, I advise you not to do so. It's useless to me. I won't give you time to chat next time," Gu Lingqing said coldly. Wu Nian twitched the corner of his mouth. He did not stop and left directly. Gu Lingqing furrowed his brows and looked at her with an increasingly deep gaze. She returned to the private room. Alan had already poured her red wine. She raised the wine glass and looked at the red liquid in it. She shook it slightly, as if she was thinking about something, as if she was meditating. "What's wrong? Did you meet anyone when you went out just now? You don't seem to be in a good mood," Alan asked with concern. Wu Nian looked at Alan and drank the wine. She poured a small glass into her mouth and swallowed it slowly. After drinking, her eyes became misty and she became a little lazy. Her face was naturally red. "Mr. Allen, you like me, right? Or should I say, you have a liking for me?" Alan smiled warmly. "You're the most straightforward girl I've ever met. Yes, I like you. You fit my liking." "Then let's go out," Wu Nian said directly. "Huh." Alan was surprised. Wu Nian smiled and poured himself a glass of wine. "I only have one request." Alan looked at Wu Nian blankly. There was no trace of a smile in his eyes. Wu Nian looked at his expression and smiled even more brightly. Since we're dating so straightforwardly, when it's over, as long as one party proposes to break up, we'll end it straightforwardly. There won't be any sloppiness, right? Oh, it's just that it's very sudden, Alan said awkwardly. Did you suddenly get sick on the plane? Wu Nian took away the red wine glass in front of him, looked at him calmly and said, "You're not fit to drink, so you should rest. I can go back by myself. You can think about what I said. If you don't want to start with me, it's okay. We'll contact each other after you've arranged a meeting with Mr. Stephen." Wu Nian stood up. "Don't you want supper?" Alan asked. "Firstly, I'm not a person who likes to give opportunities to the opposite sex. Secondly, the purpose of having dinner with you is to talk about the meeting with Mr. Stephen. Thirdly, if we start dating, there will be plenty of opportunities to have dinner in the future. If we don't, this meal will be a waste of everyone's time. Fourthly, what kind of person I am now is what kind of person I will be in the future. Now I pretend to be a gentle and considerate little sheep. If I let you discover my true nature as we get along, it will only make both of us feel pain and regret our previous relationship. I'm leaving, Mr. Allen. Sweet dreams." Wu Nian picked up his bag. "I'll send you back." Alan also stood up. "Sending me back is the same as having dinner. Have a good rest." Wu Nian walked out of the room and called Lu Shuang. "I'm leaving now. You haven't gone far, right? Wait for me at the door." Wu Nian said simply. "So fast. The dishes haven't been served yet. Did you break up with Mr. Allen?" Lu Shuang was surprised. "Let's talk in the car," Wu Nian said in a low voice. He hung up and walked into the elevator. In the car, Lu Shuang was shocked. He widened his eyes and stared at Wu Nian as if he was looking at a monster. "You really want to go out with Alan?" Wu Nian was very calm and reminded him, "Look ahead when driving." "No." Lu Shuang was anxious and stopped the car by the roadside. She didn't believe it at all. "Xiao Nian, is what you said true or false? This doesn't fit your style. Are you possessed?" Alan has a lot of strengths, but he also has a very obvious weakness. "What?" Lu Shuang looked at Wu Nian in confusion. "His loyalty is low," Wu Nian said with certainty. Lu Shuang hit Wu Nian angrily. "You can see that his loyalty is low, and you still want to go out with him? Is there something wrong with your brain? Or is this the side effect of the new drug?" Wu Nian turned around and looked at Lu Shuang. He explained, "His current state is very suitable for my current situation. I need a boyfriend to eliminate Gu Lingqing's suspicion of me and Su Jieran's pestering. He can also protect me after you leave. But he's a playboy. He might only be fresh for you for 3 months. What should we do then? You won't be taken advantage of for nothing." Lu Shuang was worried. Wu Nian smiled. "Alan doesn't like me like you think. He was just trying to get to know me. When I asked him to go out with me, he was very unwilling." Lu Shuang was confused. "What do you mean?" "His gentlemanliness and elegance are in his bones. The self-restraint he has cultivated since he was young makes him unable to refuse a woman's request. Unless it touches his bottom line, he won't touch me if I say I don't want to." Then, Lu Shuang wanted to say something but stopped. "What if he falls in love with you?" "He is a person who pursues perfection. I am a person who is incomplete in many aspects. As time goes by, he will naturally feel that I am not suitable for him." Wu Nian said frankly. "What if he doesn't agree?" Wu Nian's expression didn't change. "Then it's a good thing that he doesn't pester you in the future." "Is that so?" Lu Shuang always felt that there was something strange about it. "Alan is in the UK, and you are in a land. You don't see each other much. For me, his existence is just a way for me to say that I have a boyfriend that I can find. That will give me more confidence." "It feels like I am deceiving his feelings," Lu Shuang said softly. "During our relationship, he will look for someone more suitable for him. My appearance is just his empty nest period. In other words, it is the tiredness period between him and his girlfriend. When he finds her, he will naturally break up with me." Wu Nian said calmly to Lu Shuang. You said that he hasn't broken up with his fourth girlfriend? Wu Nian asked in surprise. It's just my guess. With his family background, the woman introduced by his parents must have a good background, so it is not good to directly reject her. But Alan has a very high EQ, so he should handle the relationship at the state where they are not yet lovers. Then you have a very powerful love rival. Lu Shuang was worried. I don't even have a lover, how can I have a love rival? Wu Nian said and saw a figure flashing in front of them. Lu Shuang also saw it and hurriedly braked. They stopped to check. Chapter 353. Lu Shuang was stunned and looked at Wu Nian. Wu Nian looked at the woman on the ground expressionlessly. I'm sorry. You got the wrong person. Are you hurt? You're not Bai Ya. You are. The old woman got up from the ground and fell again. My leg is hurt. Shuang, call the police. Wu Nian said coldly. Aren't we going to send her to the hospital? Lu Shuang asked in confusion. He didn't think it was Bai Ya's style. Bai Ya would definitely send the old woman to the hospital first and then call the police. There are trees on both sides of the road. There is no reason to cross the road at this time. Although she is old and her eyesight is not good, it is impossible for her not to see such a big car. Besides, she called me Bai Ya. Bai Ya should be your friend. Do you think your friend knows this woman? Wu Nian stared at the woman and said to Lu Shuang. You are right. This person must have been arranged to be here. Lu Shuang looked around and vented his anger in the bushes. He pushed the bushes aside and saw a few people running away. Xiao Nian, someone did it on purpose, Lu Shuang said with certainty. Get in the car. Wu Nian turned and got in the car. Are we going to leave this woman? Lu Shuang got in the car and asked. Should we send her to the hospital or the police station? Send her to the hospital. I have such a good heart for the person who set me up. Send her to the police station and let her stay there for 2 days. But it is a waste of my time. I don't want to bother with that. At least we know who sent her. Lu Shuang looked at the old woman who ran away quickly. There was no sign of injury. Su Jiaran, Wu Nian said with certainty. Lu Shuang felt a chill down his spine. Is he starting to suspect you? No matter how much he suspects, there is no evidence. It can only be a suspicion. Just ignore it, Wu Nian said in a deep voice. Her cell phone rang. Seeing that it was Xiao Yan's, she immediately answered, Xiao Yan. Yan Yan. Gu Yan's childish voice rang out. Wu Nian looked at the time. It was already 11 o'clock in the evening. The time difference between country A and country X was 3 hours. In country A, it was 8 o'clock now. Have you had dinner? How are you getting along with your classmates? Are you getting used to school life? Don't be greedy, okay? Don't kick off your blanket at night, and don't sleep too late at night. Wu Nian's expression unconsciously softened. After dinner, I got along well with my classmates, and my teacher likes me very much. I like going to school and there are a lot of children there. They are very friendly, and I don't kick my blanket away at night. I just miss you. I'm staying at my grandma's house now, and my dad is on a business trip. Did you come to see me secretly? Wu Nian smiled. Sure, I'll make arrangements before I come to see you. It's just like a spy movie. I've married a team called Nian Yan. I hope you won't forget what I said, Gu Yan said happily. Okay, I'll never forget you, I promise, Wu Nian said lovingly. Mua, Nian Yan, that's all for now. My grandma is asking me to take a shower. I'll call you when I have the chance. Gu Yan hung up the phone happily. After receiving Gu Yan's call, Wu Nian's gloominess was swept away. Her heart felt warm, as if it had melted into chocolate. Lu Shuang looked at Wu Nian and sighed. In her current state, how could Wu Nian fall in love and accept her new life? She refused to be with Gu Lingqing, so she could only stay by Gu Yan's side for nothing. She couldn't even acknowledge him. Gu Yan was still young now, so he was a little more dependent on adults. When Gu Yan grew up, he might not even remember Xiao Bai. Lu Shuang sighed again. She was worried. Wu Nian had a good night's sleep. Perhaps she had let it go and thought things through. When she got up in the morning and ran her third lap, her phone rang. She saw that it was Alan, so she already knew what to do. She walked under the shade and answered the call. "I didn't sleep last night. I kept thinking about you," Alan said in a deep voice. His voice sounded very tired. Wu Nian's heart trembled. She frowned and asked, "And then?" "I want to date you. I don't want to miss this opportunity," Alan said and paused. "Okay," Wu Nian replied. Alan was silent. Wu Nian did not hang up the phone either. She looked into the distance. "I'm a little nervous. I've been single for a long time, and I haven't gotten over it yet," Alan said with a smile to ease the awkwardness. Alan said with a smile, buffering the current awkwardness, "In the past, I would only start dating after a period of understanding. I don't know what you like, what your interests are, and what you hate. I'm a little helpless. I wonder if you're free. Let's have lunch together and get to know each other better." "Alan, you don't have to deliberately become the person I like. Just be yourself," Wu Nian said in a deep voice. Alan paused. "How did you know?" "Well, I mean, I'm willing to change for you." Wu Nian smiled. "You'll become the person I like. In the process of being together, you'll realize that I'm getting further and further away from the person you like. You'll get more and more tired and gradually revert to your original self. Your female partner will start to be sad, upset, resentful, and angry at you. This is the person you hate. This is the reason why you keep repeating the cycle of love. You're always looking for true love, but you've never found it." "You studied psychology?" Alan was shocked. "I guess so. It was an elective in university. Are you afraid?" Wu Nian's voice became lighter. "It's an honor. Can we have lunch together?" Alan invited again. "Okay, I'll look for you at your hotel. Remember to bring your luggage," Alan reminded. Wu Nian frowned even harder. "You don't look like someone who's in a hurry to live together. Don't you want to see Steven? I've made an appointment for you. He lives on a private island. I'll bring you there after lunch. It's a bit far, so I'll be back tomorrow. If you're worried about me, you can ask your friends to come along," Alan said gently. "Of course I'm worried about you. Many women want to climb into your bed, Mr. Allen. You don't lack women, and you won't do anything impolite. It's just that Lu Shuang and Steven are talking. I'm just accompanying them," Wu Nian explained. "Okay, but can you stop calling me Mr. Allen? Just call me Allen. Darling is fine too." Wu Nian smiled again. Mr. Allen liked delicate girls. Unfortunately, she wasn't. After lunch, they went to the pier. Steven's cruise ship came to pick them up. Wu Nian and Lu Shuang followed behind Alan and boarded the ship. When they went to the living room, Wu Nian realized that Gu Lingqing was there too. He was sitting on the sofa, wearing a black suit. He had his head down and was using his phone. Chapter 354. That was displeasure and even more disgust. Wu Nian looked away. His eyes were dark and devoid of any other color. "Why is he going?" Lu Shuang asked Alan in shock. Alan shook his head, indicating that he did not know. "Hey, Gu Lingqing, why are you going to meet Steven?" Lu Shuang asked directly. Gu Lingqing glanced at Lu Shuang and ignored him. Lu Shuang hated people who did not speak the most. They acted as if they were unreachable and insufferably arrogant. Her temper suddenly flared up. She deliberately asked Wu Nian, "Xiao Nian, when are you and Mr. Allen getting married?" Wu Nian knew that Lu Shuang was deliberately talking nonsense. However, being impulsive would only make things worse. "It's still early." "What do you mean it's still early? You're not young anymore. If you meet someone suitable, you should get married early," Lu Shuang urged. "Shuang, stop it," Wu Nian said in a low voice. Lu Shuang saw that Wu Nian was a little angry. He pursed his lips, lowered his head, and did not say anything else. Gu Lingqing's eyes flashed with a strange light as he looked at Wu Nian. In his impression, Lu Shuang was a fearless person. Ever since he was with Shenyan, he had an imposing manner. No one could subdue Lu Shuang except for by it. He thought that Wu Nian was sent by Shenyan. However, if she was sent by Shenyan, She should be subservient to Lu Shuang and follow his lead. She would not look at Lu Shuang with displeasure. However, Lu Shuang did not retaliate at all. Could it be that she was really Bai Ya? Gu Lingqing's heart skipped a beat. She scrutinized Wu Nian's eyes, nose bridge, lips, and face shape. Nothing about her resembled Bai Ya. How could she be Xiao Ya? According to what Lu Shuang said, Xiao Ya had already recovered. Why didn't she come to him and tell him? Why did she date Alan? Gu Lingqing's heart was in turmoil. She clenched her fists, restrained herself, and asked Wu Nian tentatively, "Stephen lives on an island. Miss Wu, have you ever lived on an uninhabited island?" Wu Nian shook his head. Sea City is not by the sea. I don't have many opportunities to go to the beach, let alone experience living on an uninhabited island. Miss Wu is a native of Sea City, but her accent doesn't sound like a native of Sea City, Gu Lingqing continued. I grew up in an orphanage. There are many children from different regions in the orphanage, so we have always spoken in Mandarin, Wu Nian explained calmly. Gu Lingqing stared at her coldly. Zhang Xingyu had reported that she was not from the orphanage at all. She had only appeared in the orphanage a year ago. Her reason was not valid at all. I also stayed in Sea City for a while and learned a few words from the locals. Miss Wu doesn't speak Sea City's language, but you should be able to understand it. Leader Guoluo, what does this word mean? Gu Lingqing asked. Wu Nian smiled slightly. Mr. Gu's pronunciation is not accurate. Does it mean corner? Gu Lingqing's eyes dimmed. It should be. I've forgotten. If you've forgotten, then forget it completely. It's a language that doesn't belong to Mr. Gu to begin with, Wu Nian hinted. I don't need to remember a language that doesn't belong to me, but there are some people that belong to me. I can't forget them, and I will never forget them, Gu Lingqing said solemnly. Mr. Gu is talking about your ex-wife? Wu Nian asked calmly. She is my only wife, Gu Lingqing corrected her. Wu Nian did not continue the conversation. She lowered her eyes. Alan's lips twitched. He held Wu Nian's hand and asked gently, You and Mr. Gu knew each other before? I almost became his child's home tutor, Wu Nian said honestly. That's a strange fate, Alan said politely. Wu Nian smiled faintly. She felt Gu Lingqing's gaze on her face. She said softly to Alan, I want to eat an orange. Alan smiled lovingly. He took an orange from the fruit plate, peeled it, and handed a piece to Wu Nian. Wu Nian opened her mouth and bit the orange in his hand. Is it sweet? Alan asked and handed another piece to her. Yes, Wu Nian said simply and smiled faintly. Alan looked at Wu Nian with infatuation. He realized that Wu Nian was usually cold, but when she smiled, it was pleasing to the eye. It was enough to make people fall head over heels for her. If you like it, I'll buy it for you when we get back. Okay, Wu Nian replied. She tilted her head and leaned against Alan's shoulder with her eyes closed. Gu Lingqing stared at the quiet Wu Nian and felt faintly uncomfortable. He walked out of the living room, went to the bow, and looked into the distance. Lu Shuang put his hands behind his back and walked to Gu Lingqing's side proudly. He followed his gaze and said clearly, Xiao Bai has found her happiness. Mr. Gu should also find someone to marry quickly. Everyone will be happy. She's not Xiao Ya, Gu Lingqing said in a low voice. Yes, she's not. So, Gu Lingqing, stay away from her, Lu Shuang said with warning in his voice. Gu Lingqing glanced at Lu Shuang and was a little annoyed. What do you want? Nothing. Lu Shuang shrugged and said with some disdain, This is good. Lu Shuang didn't insist that Wu Nian was Bai Ya, which made him feel very uncomfortable. He looked at Lu Shuang and turned to enter the living room. Alan kissed Wu Nian on the forehead. Gu Lingqing was stunned. Wu Nian didn't open her eyes. He didn't know if she was asleep or if she had tacitly agreed. His heart strangled inexplicably, as if it was wrapped by poisonous vines. The vines were a little tight, so his heart ached and ached. Lu Shuang wanted to give Alan and Wu Nian some privacy. He turned and saw Gu Lingqing behind him. Let's talk more. Gu Lingqing ignored Lu Shuang and sat directly opposite Alan. He said coldly, How long have you known each other? Wu Nian frowned slightly. If she woke up now and asked Alan to accompany her outside to enjoy the breeze, wouldn't it seem too deliberate? Alan smiled slightly. Fate doesn't depend on how long we've known each other. If it's based on how long we've known each other, there's no such thing as breaking up in this world. Then how can you be sure that she's your fate? Gu Lingqing narrowed his eyes. She appeared at the right time, place, and occasion. Most importantly, we're together. This is fate. Maybe it's a well-planned scam. Gu Lingqing spared no effort to dampen his enthusiasm. Alan smiled gently. Even if it's a scam, it's still a beautiful encounter. I like this arrangement. Even if I'm deceived, I'm willing. Moreover, I'm looking forward to a turn of events. Aren't you afraid that your true fate is yet to come? Gu Lingqing's voice was even colder. Has Mr. Gu only been in love once? Alan asked suspiciously. You're tuning in to the Passion Pages YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support, and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.